Almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Friday edition. The Jason Wilde en route to the biggest Packers game of the year edition. And the Happy New Year edition of Wilde and Tausch. 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, the ESPN Wisconsin app, live video streaming on Twitter, on Facebook, and on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Jason Wilde is not hosting the entire show with us today, but he is scheduled to appear more than once during today's program as he is on the way to Minneapolis.
He's just got to have it, doesn't he? He can't take a day.
You know what? I don't blame him. By the way, so I'm Jesse Nelson. I'm normally the producer of the show. I am getting over a cold.
You don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
You don't blame him.
Because
his wife yells at us thinking that we're like forcing him to come on the show.
Well, it's not.
That's what happens.
It's the first show of 2026. It's a Friday leading into a Packers game. He's our Packers guy. He's going to Minneapolis to cover the game. I mean, the game stinks and is pretty irrelevant in the grand scope of the season, but I mean, there's storylines abundant from the last couple of days since you've been gone, Tausch, that we're going to talk about. He's the Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher. So we've got Trevon Diggs is coming to Green Bay. He's a Packer now, apparently.
Sure.
The quarterback.
What's the other storylines?
A former quarterback who, did he go to the playoffs with Atlanta? I don't know if he did or not. A former
Jordan Love is having a baby. I saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's great news.
Jordan and Ronica.
Love that.
Yeah, great way. Some positive news to start 2026.
Absolutely.
Desmond Ridder is coming to Green Bay, a former starter in the National Football League.
He beat us. He beat us with the Falcons, but we don't care. That's irrelevant.
Luke Fickell's guy. Okay. Yeah. You can talk to Fick about everything we need to know about Desmond Ridder. So that's what we got heading into the, what have we called this? The Channel3000.com Bowl, because it's on CBS this weekend. The Tito's Vodka Bowl between the Packers and the Vikings, noon on Sunday. Lots to talk about as we get set for it, Tausch.
As I said earlier this week, once Green Bay lost to Baltimore and the Bears, how this all shook itself out. This was going to be the Bishop's charity game. This is a preseason game, and this, I thought once Jordan cleared protocol, maybe he'd play a little bit just to kind of get his feet back wet and, to feel like he's back into it. Green Bay decided not. He's had good couple days of practice, according to the reports. So this is kind of the reality. You're going to more than likely go in with a 4-game losing streak, which this game, again, does not matter one bit. It's going to end up sucking for us because it's going to cost us our Hard Rock Casino Rockford bet, which is real irritating. By the way, Jesse, can you check Hard Rock Casino Rockford Christian McCaffrey MVP odds? Because I saw on thank you, Jesse. I saw on Get Up probably Tuesday or Wednesday, he was at 500 to 1. And I was thinking that's crazy talk because if he has a monster game tomorrow and San Fran wins the 1 seed, he's going to win the MVP, or he should. Whether or not they give it to him, I don't know. But it's worth a flyer, so I didn't check Hard Rock Casino Rockford yet. If Jesse can get that up, I will let you know more. But this is a preseason game. And there's no other way. I'd love to sit here and pump it up and say that it's the most important thing ever. We all know I'm not going to BS our audience. It's not. It's not.
844-770-3776 is your way into the show on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. And perhaps if you can find faster than me Christian McCaffrey's MVP odds, according to the Hard Rock Casino Rockford, that would be greatly appreciated because I am struggling to get the internet up and running for me here to figure that out right now. 844-770-3776. So we'll get
now, I will say this, Jesse. Yeah. The acquisition of Diggs is very interesting to me.
Yeah, let's talk about
this
for a minute. So I was on with Ben Brust on Tuesday afternoon hosting Kyle Brust and Nortman, which I heard you snubbed us. You were supposed to appear, and you said, nah, I'm good. And I thought Brust and I...
snub you. I took a day off. I had family in town. Yeah, I'm not jumping on with you guys.
Jason's taking a day off. Look how hard he's working yet today. Anyway, I thought Brust and I were your favorite combo of hosts working together, and I was disappointed to hear that you didn't join us on Tuesday.
You guys are great, but if I could celebrate Christmas with my family, I'm going to do that over.
We'll allow that in this one particular moment, I suppose. So we were on Tuesday afternoon when Trevon Diggs was released by the Cowboys, and Rob Demovsky hopped on with us. We said, is this actually going to be a thing? Are we actually going to do this? And all of us were kind of unanimous, nah, this isn't somebody with the red flags that have come up in Dallas over the last couple of years. The way that this ended, getting released with 1 week to go, just didn't seem like the kind of move the Green Bay Packers would do. We all kind of universally agreed, yeah, they're probably not going to be in on this. And then lo and behold, New Year's Eve, we're drinking champagne on Wednesday evening, and suddenly we see Trevon Diggs is getting signed by the Green Bay Packers, according to Adam Schefter. And then the team makes it official. This is a real thing. They acquired him. So what do you make of that decision by Goody to go ahead and try to add some depth as a former Pro Bowl corner with 1 week to go in the regular season after he gets released by the Cowboys?
Yeah, I thought, why not? You're not putting a ton of money into it. You get an opportunity to have somebody that has played corner at a very high level, is a turnover machine when he's healthy. And this just showed me, I think Micah Parsons and Jordan Love have with the same agent as Diggs. I think they got some clout, and they're, I think, jumping in. And I'm sure you could say that Goody didn't put that into the equation. I don't know, but what I do know is at this point you have roster spots. Why wouldn't you take a flyer on somebody that has been a big-time performer? Granted, that was 2 or 3 years ago. But our secondary needs a playmaker, especially at the corner spot. We've seen that if he can come in and make one play, it's worth it. So I love it. It's something kind of uncharacteristic, but I think it's because this season, it's the end of the season. I don't think if you're looking long-term, is this something that Goody would have done? No. But for a short-term flyer like this, I think it's a no-brainer move that you bring somebody in and you can maybe strike lightning in a bottle. And if that happens and you win a playoff game because of it, it's well worth the $400,000 that it's going to end up costing you.
I think you're spot on with that. I just am shocked that the Packers actually did this. It just doesn't seem characteristic of something that Goody would do traditionally. So I love it. If it does make the team better, if it gives you a better chance to go win the Super Bowl, then I'm all here for it. For those of us who aren't as well versed in how this all works as you and Jason and others are, can you share with us the difference between being claimed and being signed? Because I'm already seeing in the YouTube comments some people are correcting me saying he was not signed by the Packers. He was claimed off waivers by the Packers. What is the difference?
Surely. So he's under contract with the Cowboys. The Cowboys release him, so I believe it's 24 hours or 48 hours. There's a waiver claim. It basically is the teams that stink the most get the first right to grab players. So the Raiders, if the Raiders wanted him, he'd be a Raider. And it goes down that way. So Green Bay's probably, I don't know, in the low 20s, upper teens as far as where they're at in waiver rights because they're going to end up being the 7th seed. Probably the team with the, outside of the division winners, the worst record in the NFL to get into the playoffs, which, again, is mind-boggling. But nobody picked him up until that point. Green Bay puts a waiver claim in. They are the first team eligible that decided to do that. It doesn't sound like anyone else did. So they take on his contract as it currently states, which there is no guaranteed money after this year. Otherwise, Goody doesn't do this. And it's basically you're getting 1/17 of his contract, and he's going to make the playoff shares, which every player makes the same amount of money once the playoffs start. So it is a low risk, potentially, fruitful acquisition, and you go from there. Now, if he had cleared waivers, he would then have been free to sign with any team for whatever contract him and his team worked out with that team. That is the understanding I have of the waiver wire.
We will learn more from Jason and Rob Demovsky, who are both scheduled to appear throughout today's show. 844-770-3776, the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. List is more. That was the exciting news from the last couple of days. And Jordan Love and Ronica are having a baby, so congratulations to them. The other exciting news, Tausch, Clayton Tune will be getting the start on Sunday in Minneapolis for the Green Bay Packers at quarterback. No Malik Willis. Jordan Love clears concussion protocol, but he is still not going to get the start. He may be the backup to Clayton Tune on Sunday afternoon. Name that tune. Clayton Tune gets the start. What does that mean to you, old T?
Well, it's a great opportunity for him, but as a football fan and as an analyst, when it's week 18, I'm just not – it tells me we definitely don't need to expand this schedule. That's what this tells me. I have been on the – I always thought 17 games was too much, 18 is going to be too many, and the fact that you look around the league and there's 3 games of meaning, maybe 4. I know there's a little bit of jockeying yet but Philadelphia is not even playing their guys, and they have a chance to be a 2 seed.
Yeah, that's shocking.
They're not going to – it's not that shocking. All of that tells me it's great that but you shouldn't be playing preseason games when you're playoff teams at this point. I don't like it. I am looking forward to seeing what he can do and how Matt LaFleur approaches this against the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to come out and really amp up and try to win a game. So that part will be intriguing, but I'm just not all that intrigued watching August football in January. I don't know if I could be any more clear.
I think you've made yourself very clear. There are a lot of games with...
Are you intrigued by this?
Not one bit. No, we're going to do rescheduled Christmas with my mom and dad on Sunday, and the game was going to be a focal point of that. And I think we're at the point where we'll have the game on, but it'll be okay if we're opening a couple of gifts or helping prepare some stuff in the kitchen or whatever while the first half is playing out. It's not going to be that significant to keep an eye on. I don't think it's going to feel like a preseason game. I think you're spot on.
Riley,
with that.
are you? I just wonder where fans are at. We always like watching Packer football. Everybody agrees on that.
Yeah.
But this actually might be worse than a preseason game. Preseason, you're at least like, this jockeying to see this and this. This is such an irrelevant game for us because we've decided that's the way it's going to be. I don't know, what are we even looking to take away from this game? Preseason, you always have takeaways. What are you looking to take away from this game?
Are there any contract incentives that guys are playing for? I haven't seen that list yet, but there might be 1 or 2 of those. If there's the receivers, or how much can you judge the receivers on Clayton Tune throwing them the football? You're just going to want guys to avoid injury, which didn't happen last year, so that's why none of the guys are playing. I don't know.
What time's the Bears game this week?
3:25.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 3:25 game. The Saints and Falcons game could have significance depending on how Panthers and Buccaneers plays out on Saturday afternoon. That might be the biggest game in the noon window. I'm struggling to find the most compelling storyline, which could bode well for our green and gold game preview.
Just as a fan, outside of seeing Tune, which more than likely, maybe this, I guess here, I will find a positive here. Malik Willis will more than likely not be back with Green Bay. This is an audition for Tune to at least put himself in the mix to be the backup quarterback. If he plays well, he could put himself in the position. Green Bay will still bring other guys in, but he could pole position himself to be the backup if he plays well. That is all I can come up with. I can't come up with anything else.
So we'll take your thoughts on that. We've got a couple of callers waiting to jump in with some other commentary for us as well. Your chance to get in right now, the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line, 844-770-3776. How jacked up are you for the Week 18 finale in Minneapolis between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings?
Just imagine if there was another week of this yet.
Well, if there was another week of this, then I don't think tomorrow or Sunday would look like what it is. Because
I don't know.
If there was another week, the Packers could still play their way up to a 6 seed, a 5
Maybe.
seed. They could even catch the Bears still, theoretically. If there were two
let's
more
get
weeks
another
of
week
this.
then.
Yeah,
Let's play 10 more weeks.
games would help the cause, I think. No matter what.
Yeah, more is better,
I mean,
always.
Let's not act like this didn't happen when there were 16 games in the season. There were a lot of times where
It
the
did.
16th game resulted in Clayton Tune starting.
But then we got to the playoffs the next week.
We're getting to the playoffs the week after this.
Let's go. I know. Let's get it moving. I'm ready to go. I don't know how anyone realistically can say adding more games is going to be good. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I am a staunch advocate for not doing it, and I'm going to lose. I know that already. It's the cake is baked. It's just whether or not they're going to throw what kind of frosting. I don't know what else we could say. I will say this because we don't have Pella this morning. I had a very interesting conversation with one of the Academy members, and he found a landing spot for Malik Willis that I think is where he should go and would really bother the Green Bay Packers. I'll tell you
Oh, boy.
where that is. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
What's new at Zimbrick Chevrolet? A lot. A free car wash with every service, plus a brand new detail facility to keep your ride looking fresh all year long. Relax with coffee and snacks while you wait, and if you can't, grab one of their numerous service loaners, take the shuttle, or even get a lift on them. Plus, Zimbrick Chevrolet has the largest new Chevrolet inventory in southern Wisconsin, and you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Matt, when we were out at the Packer game, your friend even admitted that he checks out mentally when you start to tell him
he did
recipes. Yes. I don't even bring up food around you anymore because it's too much.
And Thomas is a terrible cook, so he can't follow the recipes anyway.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best local sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Green Bay clinches a playoff spot.
I certainly am not going to write off the fact that we get in the playoffs. Anything can happen.
We're on the Packers because we're on the run to the postseason. Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today, although Jason is scheduled to appear coming up with us in just a few minutes. He'll join us for the Green and Gold game preview.
I cannot believe Christian McCaffrey's at 25,000 to 1.
Yeah?
That is crazy.
We do have
Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Riley, you just sent me that, right?
The official numbers are in, plus 25,000 for Christian McCaffrey, NFL MVP odds. You going to make the 60-minute drive down to Hard Rock and place that wager here this afternoon?
Yeah, I legit might. So just help me. Because as always, when I have a thought, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's idiotic. Matthew Stafford played his way out of it last week. He's not going to play this week.
Most people would suggest that, yes.
McCaffrey has had a big-time year. He's 6th in the league in receptions. 6th. The 49ers have a chance to be the 1 seed. If he goes out and has a night tomorrow night, and the Niners end up with the 1 seed, and Drake May doesn't play or plays minimal for the Patriots, this is the perfect storm. The Niners could end up with the 1 seed, and McCaffrey, you look at his stat line of touchdowns and receptions and yards rushing, he's the best player on the best team when their quarterback missed 7 weeks. Why would he not be the MVP? Help me understand.
Because Drake May helped lead the Patriots in a resurgent season at the most important position in the game to becoming a number 1 or number 2
So did
seed.
Bo Nix.
Yeah, but Bo Nix is viewed differently than
and
Drake May.
He's not even the 1
seed.
seed. They're not even the 1 seed.
What Drake May has looked like in the offense with a first-year head coach there in Mike Vrabel, compared to what he looked like last year, and the difference that made in the success the Patriots had from not being a playoff team to being a playoff team, is why the argument would be made for Drake May to be the MVP. Plus the numbers to go with it. Are you open to that argument, or are you just going to say Christian McCaffrey?
No. I understand it's a quarterback award, but this is one of the rare years. They wanted to give it to Stafford. He had the bad game, so they're going to pull that. They're going to be the 5 or 6 seed, or the 5 seed, it looks like. So I don't know what else a guy would have to do. McCaffrey stayed healthy. He's been awesome, and he needs a big game tomorrow night. The way that it's at 25,000 just is crazy to me. If it was 700-800, okay, I get it. 25,000, to me, he should at worst be second, and if he has a day, he can overtake it, and it could be pretty reasonable to think he should get the MVP.
So we've got a couple of callers on hold on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. You also have a tease to pay off for us about Malik Willis and a landing spot. Why don't you do
Maybe
that?
I'll tease. Jason's coming up next, right?
Jason is scheduled to appear next. Let me just make sure.
I'll tease and let Jason respond first. So let's get to your calls, and then we can go do it that way.
Let's go to Josh in Kenosha on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. How excited are you for the game on Sunday? And plus, I think Josh wants to say a thing or two more with us here. Josh, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. Jesse and Tausch today. How are you?
Good morning. I am doing well. Happy New Year to you both. Hope you're doing great on this Friday.
Happy New Year to you too, Josh.
Beautiful Friday. Absolutely.
It is. First thing, Jesse, you did an outstanding job on Tuesday with Ben Brust. I thought the high-low segment was wonderful. End of year is always a great time to do some reflection. So
is this your brother-in-law?
Who is this, Jesse?
It is not. My brother-in-law wouldn't be this
Who
nice.
is this guy? He is loving up some gel this morning.
Josh in Kenosha. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in on Tuesday. Josh, we did have fun. I tolerated Brust for a whole 3 hours.
I also want to show some love to Tauscher, too, because I 100% agree. More games in the regular season is bad. These guys keep getting hurt more often because they don't practice or train in the off-season. They need to expand the rosters if they want to expand the number of games. The Packers basically sitting their starters is not good for Jordan Love, missing basically 2.5 games going into the playoffs. The Packers could definitely lose 5 straight to end their season now, depending on how the playoffs go. Not a good look for Matt LaFleur as well. Also, since you guys talked about Hard Rock and some wagers, if you took the over-under for both Minnesota and Green Bay, you're probably going to end up losing those wagers like I did, because Minnesota is most likely going to win because Green Bay feels like they're throwing the game. If you remember, the Minnesota line was 8.5. Green Bay's was 9.5.
Yeah, it's tough.
We know that.
So even as a Bears fan, I'm pulling for the Packers.
Thanks for the reminder, Josh. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
All right,
I know.
Josh, thanks for the call. Appreciate you. 844-770-3776. So, Tausch,
Jesse, if you'd have told me when we made those wagers in June, and then when 4 weeks ago, before we headed to Denver, that we are going to lose everything, I'd have told you you're nuts.
8 wins in the first week of December. We just need one more.
You ain't going to be nuts. We literally are going to lose everything out of it. It's unbelievable. But if I can find my way to get down to Hard Rock Casino Rockford, I can make it all back with
Christian McCaffrey. We might have to make a special trip here this afternoon. I got time. I can make the run. So what do you make of Josh's point there that this is bad for Jordan Love not playing in this game, although he's cleared the concussion protocol?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's always that fine line between, where you want to put a guy at risk when there's no reward. I do think Jordan could have started and played, even if it was 3 or 4 series, just to get back in there, because you could tell me that you're practicing at full speed and you're doing all that, and that's great. They're nothing like a game. And especially Minnesota, it's going to be, I don't know what kind of environment it'll be up there, but Minnesota, they showed up when Detroit came up there. You have Flores coordinating, so you're going to see some pressure. I don't know if all of that plays into it, but I'm okay with it. I want him as healthy as possible going into a playoff game. I feel confident if Jordan Love is healthy and ready to go, we have a good shot going down to Chicago.
844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Is today or is now the time for you to be open to hearing big picture trade proposals? Because that's what I hear Boomer in Athelstein, which I love Athelstein.
We can hear
where the cabin is.
You're up it's up by Crivets, in that area.
up in the Crivets area. That's where our cabin is.
So I'm open to it because when I teased about Malik, it's not a trade, obviously, because but what I can't stand is when we're sitting here the eve of the playoffs. You have college football playoffs rolling, getting into the semis, and guys breaking down quarterback play for first and second overall picks. We literally have all of February, March, and April. We have 3 blanking months to do all of it. You're going to pick the weekend before the number 1 seed gets decided. All of this the day after two really good college football games. And that's when you're going to start picking that? I can't get on board with that. I don't want any draft talk until the week between the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship. That should be the new barometer.
Okay.
Go ahead,
all right.
Let's
Well, a new standard has been set for Wilde and Tausch. Okay, so tread carefully because I love Athelstein. We're going to bring in Boomer and Athelstein, but Tausch has the right to cut off Boomer at any point if this goes too beyond what we should be talking about here this week. So with that being said, Boomer and Athelstein, welcome to Wilde and Tausch. Wait a minute, Riley's on the phone. I don't know if he's going to... Boomer, do we have you there?
Yes.
All right, good morning, Boomer. What you got?
Good morning, guys. First off, I want to just say that I'd love to have Willis back, and I think Dobbs is our most consistent wide receiver. I'm looking ahead to 2026. Can we tag Willis, send him, Dobbs, and Gary, since Gary's not going to be around anyways, send them to Oakland for Max Crosby?
Yes, let's do it. Sign me up, Boomer.
Yes.
You know who's not going to do that? The Raiders. That's who's not going to do that.
They need a quarterback.
Well,
they do, but they can. But here's the deal, Boomer. We're not going to tag him because we're just not. The tag price is going to be very, very heavy, and we're not going to do that. So that part is not going to work. Rashawn Gary's going to get released more than likely, so the Raiders could get him for nothing. And Dobbs is also a free agent, so we would have had to have done that probably in October if we were going to make that trade. And by the way, I would have been all in. Goody would have been all in. Everybody but the Raiders organization would have been all in on that move.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
Enjoy
you too. And have a brew.
Enjoy the meat raffle tomorrow, Boomer. Appreciate you. I don't know
I'll
him.
tell you what, I enjoyed
actually don't know
Boomer's
him.
thoughts on
yeah.
it. Boomer, listen, I love big ideas. Boomer had big ideas there. It ain't going to work, but trust me, how many people have done big ideas that don't work, but then they fail and they figure it out?
And you get one. Yeah.
This one's going to fail, and they're not going to figure it out, but Crosby will be on the trade. I do think Crosby will be available, but not for that package, not from the Green Bay Packers.
We have two great Wilde and Tausch callers on hold. We have time for one of them before we get to Jason Wilde for the Green and Gold game preview. Riley Yauk, filling in as our cousin sub of the day, producing the show today.
What if we say this? You get 30 seconds and you got to be done. Get both of them and do 30 seconds. Let's go.
That's nicer than me making Riley choose one of them. So, okay, 30 seconds
All right,
on
you
the
got
clock.
30 seconds. Riley, put them on. Let's go.
Ron and Sheboygan, you're on Wilde and Tausch. What you got? You have 30 seconds.
Brief, brilliant, gone. There's an old adage in the National Football League. He can take his and beat yours, and then he can take yours and beat his. That's why I'm watching the game on Sunday. For all of the Matt LaFleur detractors out there, what if he sets up a game plan and goes up to Minnesota, the house of horrors for the Green Bay Packers, and beats the Minnesota Vikings, who have won 4 games in a row, with Clayton Tune at quarterback? It's a possibility. Then I don't want to hear from these MFL or these MLF guys say, he needs to be fired, he needs to be gone. If he goes up in a week in which he just said he's never seen anything transactionally or roster-wise like he's seen this week with the Green Bay Packers, and they still go up and beat the Minnesota Vikings, all of you that say Matt LaFleur needs to be fired can sit down and shut up, because he's going to do something that nobody would have thought possible.
All right, Ron, thanks for the call. Tausch, what do you have to say about it?
47 seconds.
Yeah, a little long. Riley, let's watch that. A little long there.
Here's the deal with
the
what Ron's saying. I think all that is cute and great, but if he loses to the Bears the next week, nobody's going to care. I promise you nobody is going to care that he outdid with his guys and the other guys, and it's a good line. And I like Ron's line of thinking on it, but if we go up, beat Minnesota by 20 and then lose to the Bears by 15 and get knocked out of the playoffs, I promise you, Ron, nobody, LaFleur detractors or lovers, will have anything to say about this Minnesota.
No, we're not going to be
We're
not going to be having a conversation in May about Matt LaFleur's job status. Say, it didn't go well in the playoffs. But remember that Week 18 Clayton Tune game against Minnesota? That's not going to happen. I agree. All right, 30 seconds on the clock. Eric in Green Bay. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch.
Timer starts now.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Good. Apparently Matt Hamilton's here also. Hi, how's it going,
Good.
Eric?
Well, I hope you had a great New Year because that intro just cost me 11 seconds. One quick thing: the Bold-a-thon standings. Molly Brown has an opportunity to join Craig Carmison in the winner's circle after predicting the Packers would only lose one divisional game, flipping the script from going 1-5.
Wow, that's big
year.
drama. Okay,
That's good stuff.
Would a win here possibly inspire the team and lead to any momentum? I am done. 29 seconds.
Wow,
that's good stuff.
Timed himself.
Well done.
Thanks, Eric.
So obviously it always is better to win, but I am convinced when you make the decision that you tell guys in advance that Jordan's not playing, that Josh isn't playing, it's not going to carry over a ton. Win, lose, or draw this weekend. We get beat by 20. It's not going to be, oh, boy, we just got beat by 20. We have no chance against the Bears. And if we win by 20, there'll be some good juju going. But it will all just end because you're going to hear every coach, player say it's a new season. Everybody's at 0-0. So regardless of what the result is on Sunday, no, it's not going to carry over a ton into next Saturday, Sunday, or Monday whenever Green Bay ends up playing.
Who says we only take calls on Mondays? Look at that. We squeezed a few in here before we even get to our green and gold game preview.
I love Eric's self-monitoring. That was
good.
fantastic.
That's
really well done.
He is very accountable as he's kept track of our Bold-a-thon predictions throughout the course of the season. Can't wait to review those in a few weeks as well. Coming up next, Jason Wilde joins us en route to the biggest game of the year. Packers-Vikings, Week 18 in Minneapolis. He is on his way to cover it, and he'll join us for the green and gold game preview. That's next on Wilde and Tausch.
The Don has spoken.
Everybody has the same issues. Everyone has NIL issues. Everyone has transfer portal issues. It's up to our guys to figure out how to manage it.
The Barry Alvarez Show, Mondays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just a priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and Southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Stricker. And I'm Izzy Stricker. Golf is a pretty big deal for us, and we want to see it grow. That's why we've teamed up with Good Lion Golf right here in Madison. It's golf apparel made for the course, but perfect for everyday life. From hoodies and jackets to beanies and caps, it's a break from the same old clothes found in the pro shop.
Good Lion is designed right here in Madison and is built on community, creativity, and connection.
Check out goodliongolf.com and join the humble pride today.
Use code ESPN20 for 20% off your order. That's goodliongolf.com.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
Everyone plays like a champion at TPC Wisconsin. Our friendly community shares one thing, a passion for world-class golf. Women, men, and youth golfers all love the course. The $25 million upgrade is impeccable, and the list of amenities is more than impressive. But belonging where the shared pursuit of excellence is a daily practice and not just a tagline? That might be the best part. Join today and pay no dues until April 1st. Discover belonging. TPCWisconsin.com.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Thursday, January 29th for Andy North Trivia Night presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and along with the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
Mark Tauscher here for Iron Jock. As a former athlete, I've worn just about every type of workout gear there is, and nothing compares to Iron Jock. Their performance apparel is built to fight sweat, odor, and bacteria, keeping you feeling fresh no matter how hard you push. From the gym to the pickleball court, Iron Jock keeps you dry, comfortable, and confident. Upgrade to Iron Jock. Available now at ironjock.com.
Green Bay clinches a playoff spot.
I certainly am not going to write off the fact that we get in the playoffs. Anything can happen.
We're on the Packers because we're on the run to the postseason. Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Wilde and Tausch again. It's been Jesse and Tausch for the first 35 minutes or so of the show, but joining us now en route to the biggest game of the season, the Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings in the Week 18 regular season finale. It is Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason. How are you?
August football in January is a really good line by Old Boy. That is really well done. So kudos, Mr. Tauscher. Kudos.
All right, Jason. So you're driving up. You're taking the crew. We're going to have a great weekend up in Minneapolis. And I think you probably had hoped that this game maybe would have been to either win the division or whatnot. It's not. What are you most intrigued? Because we're trying to find intrigue. The only thing I could find is that this gives Clayton Tune an opportunity to put himself in the front-runner seat to be the backup quarterback next year if he plays well. What say you?
Yeah, you may, again, 2 for 2, my friend. Look, I'm going to write this story on Sunday. You know me, I love preseason football. I am in a very small minority of people that feel that way. But because I love stories, I think this is a really cool rarity, not for the viewer necessarily, as much as I know everyone will be tuned in to Channel 3 in Madison to watch this game. Very rarely do you have guys that this is a huge audition for them in a game that counts. This ain't preseason. They're actually going to scheme it up as opposed to the vanilla of preseason. And so the Jalen Simpsons and the Shamar Bartholomews, guys that no one had ever heard of, and probably many of our listeners still haven't heard of, who are going to get opportunities, right? I think that is one of the things. I was talking to Jeff Hafley about this yesterday, and he had a great line. And you know this, having played in the NFL. One play can change your entire life. One of those guys has one of those moments. But to me, if that doesn't move you, which I totally get, Diggs is playing. Like, they are clearly going to put Trevon Diggs out there, probably for extended time, and get a look. It may even cost me my story that I'm excited to write today, which is Bo Melton could play both offense and defense in the same game, because Jeff Hafley kind of tamped that down a little bit on me yesterday. But look, I want to see if Diggs is any good anymore, because he could be a huge pickup or he could be a dud, and he's not going to help them that much. I mean, as you like to say, the league comes at you pretty fast. 2021 was a long time ago when he had 11 picks and he was a first-team All-Pro. But maybe a change of scenery, being in a place where his best friend in football, Micah Parsons, is, where two of his former Alabama teammates in Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs are, and the guy that recruited him to Alabama, Derek Ansley, is the defensive passing game coordinator. Maybe this is the place where he can be the player he once was. And if that's the case, another one of Goody's brilliant, low-risk, high-reward signings could really come to fruition.
Jason, how much of the Micah Parsons relationship, I'm not saying Micah's the GM, like maybe a former quarterback chimed in, how much of that played in, do you think, to Goody signing him?
Well, I'm sure Goody did his due diligence, right? So I'm sure he talked to Ansley and to Jacobs and to McKinney and to Micah Parsons. And I bet he probably called Mike McCarthy, right? Because Mike coached him in Dallas and said, is this guy, how big of a headache is this guy? I mean, we are talking about someone who the last straw for him was, and I didn't even think this was an unreasonable request, but I think it speaks to how he was probably viewed in that building and what a pain in the keister he was, that he wanted to stay in Maryland after the Christmas game and spend Christmas with his family and not fly back. Maybe a different player who has not been the way he has been the last couple of years, who did not allegedly drop a television mounting bracket on himself while he was trying to install a television and gave himself a concussion that forced him to miss 6 weeks. Maybe he would have been allowed to stay. But, that was the last straw and they cut him. But I think more than anything else, I'm sure even though Goody asked all the right questions, this is desperation. That's exactly what it is. I mean, they lose Kamal Haddon. They lose Nate Hobbs, so I know Nate Hobbs didn't have a great season. But I did hear Jeff Hafley talk about how physical he was yesterday 3 different times.
Yep, very physical.
And
great scouting.
And let's be honest, on the flip side, they did bench in the game on Saturday night Carrington Valentine for not being physical, right? I mean, that's why Kamal Haddon was on the field to get injured. So I don't know. I haven't scouted. I didn't see Trevon Diggs against Arizona the last time the Cowboys played him, so I don't know whether he's physical sufficiently or not. But they needed corner help. And as much as I love the Bo Melton and the Jalen Simpson and the Shamar Bartholomew stories, whatever this guy's shortcomings have been, the dude's been a stud in this league at one point. So the contract, there's no risk to the contract. There's no guaranteed money left. They're paying him $472,222 this week. Could be another $58,000 if he plays in the game. But after that, that's it. They can say, okay, thank you for your service, or they can say, you know what, we're not bringing back Nate Hobbs. We'll restructure this deal. We'll guarantee a little bit of the money for you, and we'd like to keep you. You get to play with your guy. Their moms are good friends, Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs. So, he said he'd like to stay as long as they'll keep him. Obviously, I don't know how long that'll be, but there's an opportunity here that maybe a change of scenery will actually help him. But let's see what he does on Sunday first.
Well, how about that for a storyline? Tausch, look at that. This game just got a whole lot more interesting with Jason en route. Jason Wilde joining us as he's on his way to Minneapolis for the Packers and Vikings regular season finale on Sunday. Jason joins us in part to help out with our green and gold game preview.
Let's take a closer look at this week's matchup. This is the Green and Gold Game Preview.
Jesse, if I may, I'm going to hijack this segment.
Great.
Today.
All right.
I don't get to ask Jason a lot of questions. So, Jason, what went into the decision by Matt LaFleur to not play Jordan Love a snap after he's cleared the concussion protocol up in Minnesota?
Last year's regular season finale. I mean, we all remember Christian Watson tearing his ACL, but I think people forgot Jordan Love banged his elbow and had no feeling in his throwing hand. I think that scared the bejesus out of Matt. he doesn't want to take any chances. Now, I will tell you this. You guys know, and I've talked about this many times, Jordan Love, there's plenty of times when things were combative with his predecessor in press conferences. Not frequently, but occasionally. Jordan doesn't operate that way, but he got after somebody a little bit yesterday for suggesting that practice is not going to be sufficient to get him ready. And he basically said, look, I've missed a couple games. And there was a little bit of an edge to his answer. So they think that they have.
Hey, Jason,
they think that they. Yeah.
Come on. Jordan Love knows better. Like, practices are great. Come on. You're telling me practice is the same as Flores putting an all-out blitz in your face in front of a loud crowd up in the Metrodome or whatever they call that place now? Come on, Jordan. Like, there's a difference.
Yeah,
That's why they play games.
That is why. There's also risk versus reward, though, and I think
yes.
The guy's played 51 games. He started 51 games in this league. Do you really want to? And to your point, Tausch, about Brian Flores, I don't know about you. I don't really feel like exposing him to that. You saw what he did to Jared Goff last week on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with nothing to gain, do you really want him under siege from that pass rush? I don't. I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze there. And the fact, I don't know if I know Jesse's, gotten a lot of help on clipping my questions, but I probably had one of my least polite questions yesterday to Matt LaFleur when he said that Jordan could be the backup to Clayton Tune. And I said, Matt, you'd be kicking yourself if something happens to Tune and Jordan has to go in, and then something happens to Jordan. It defeats the whole purpose of not playing him. And he said the problem is you only get 2 practice squad call-ups. You only have 48 guys active on game day, so that might have to be the route they go. And I'm like, then what the hell is Desmond Ridder doing here? Like, I can't imagine that you would do that. But the fact that he said that at least means that there's a tiny part of him that has thought about that as an alternative if they're trying to get other guys onto the game day roster so they can sit certain players.
The Green and Gold game preview continues with Mark Tauscher interviewing Jason Wilde. Tausch.
Okay, Jason, what are the other healthy scratches going to be for this game Sunday in the Channel 3000 Bowl?
So, obviously, Josh Jacobs, who is technically healthy, but really not. There's no way in God's green earth he's playing. You know what I thought was interesting, and I haven't written it yet, and I didn't get to talk to you guys the last couple days. J.J. Enagbare indicated that he's not expected to play. Which, does that mean that Rashawn Gary is going to play?
Snap count guy.
He may have to be a high snap count guy in this game. So, look, I think Xavier McKinney won't play. There's no way that Zach Tom, who I don't think would be technically a healthy scratch either, but they're going to keep him out for another week. We'll get the injury report later this afternoon with the designations, but I would think McKinney, I don't know if they have enough, and this is part of the problem, and you know this, Tausch. The one reason this game isn't like August is you don't have a 90-man roster. So
correct.
Some guys are going to have to play, even if you would rather they didn't. Do you play Javon Bullard and Evan Williams? Right? Like, you don't have Zane
I don't
Anderson.
play Evan Williams. I don't play Evan
I wouldn't
Williams,
either.
for sure.
But then, it puts them in. I understand Matt LaFleur's concerns, but again, the reality is there are certain players that you absolutely positively have to keep safe if this is the way you're going to go. If you had decided to just play your guys and say, we need to play and, danger be damned, then you play everybody and you cross your fingers and hope. But that is clearly not what they're doing.
Tausch, we typically do 3 questions for the Green and Gold game preview. Is there one more you would like to ask Jason as we preview Packers-Vikings in the Channel3000.com Bowl?
Yeah, how important will turnovers be in who wins this game?
Well,
no. My last question in seriousness is, I was listening as I went over to Mission Barbecue and picked up our big dinner on Tuesday. I listened to you and Balaga on Tuesday, and it feels like there's a big change. You guys said this needed to be a game where you got guys out there. You can't go into the playoffs resting guys, and it feels as if things changed a little bit. Is that a Flores thing, or is that just the more you looked at it, you guys started saying maybe it's best to rest the guys, give them, because Jordan Love's going to end up going almost a month without really playing.
Yeah. No, I think, I don't know about you. I don't know where you. Matt LaFleur told us otherwise. My opinion hasn't changed. I still don't like. This is a rarity for me as the helicopter beat writer. I think they should be playing some. They've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have them start to get things moving in a positive direction. Even if you lose the game, but your starters play well for the first half, I think there is value in that. But obviously Matt LaFleur disagrees. And again, he is completely spooked by what happened last season against the Bears in the finale. That is the only explanation, because he was Mr. We got to play our guys last year, and now he's the exact opposite.
All right, last thing for me, Jason, as you are joining us again at the 11 o'clock hour, correct? That was at least what I was told. I didn't see the show sheet.
Correct.
From Jesse. All right, tell me why this isn't a great idea for everybody but the Green Bay Packers. Malik Willis going to be a free agent. He has been fantastic. He has earned the right to go and try and win a starting job. He is not going to get here, even though there are plenty of Packer fans, including some in my family, that think, well, why don't we keep Malik Willis and trade Jordan Love? I said, that's crazy talk. What if I'm Malik Willis, I'm going up and I'm starting with Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings next year. Get a 1-year deal of somewhere between 15 to 20 million. They have all kinds of cap space. They have a quarterback they don't really believe in. Make it a competition. You get to work with Kevin O'Connell. That, to me, if I'm Malik, that is the perfect landing spot. Tell me why I'm crazy.
Well, as much as I would love to tell you that you're crazy, that would mean that I'm crazy, because I said the same thing. So, once again, put on the T-shirt.
Wow.
I agree with Tausch. Totally agree. Now, you and I would also agree, though, that there are probably going to be a few other opportunities where he could flourish. Now, I don't know where those necessarily will turn out to be.
Yeah.
But I agree that this would be the best one, because I think he beats out J.J. McCarthy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Yep.
And he's got the quarterback guru as his coach. He could basically Sam Darnold himself. He could be Sam Darnold.
Yes. I really.
You tell me
really
he goes to Oakland/Las Vegas. That'll be a disaster.
Nah, they won't do
And then all of a sudden he's a setback.
Miami is the one I'm interested in. If they keep McDaniel, they move on from Tua.
That's not bad.
That's not a bad one.
You got Mike McDaniels, that system. Yep, you're right. That's not bad.
I'm not sure why you wouldn't fire McDaniels, but okay.
Well,
not bad.
Apparently they're not. So
Cleveland would be a disaster for him. Minnesota's the spot he should go if the money can make sense. That is the place he should go.
Couldn't agree more. I agree with Tausch. I didn't pack that shirt for my trip. I wish I did.
That's too bad. Jason, we will catch up with you a little more than an hour from now as we do
our segment, Jason. That's the best you've been all year.
Headlines.
That's the best he's been all year.
I'm just here to tell you, great questions. It's always about the questions when it comes to this show.
That's true.
Thanks, Jason. Safe travels.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you in an hour.
Jason Wilde.
Take care. Be good.
En route to Minneapolis as we get set for Packers-Vikings coming up on Sunday. Clayton Tune getting the start at quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Every time I say the game's coming up Sunday, I see this little smirk on your face. You just know that August football in January is exactly what's happening this weekend. I love it. Time now for trivia. Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Iron Jock and Cousin Subs. It's week 18, caller 18 for Wisconsin Geography Friday. How about that? Kicking off the new year with Wisconsin Geography Friday. There is a theme to this, and it comes with I think it's an exciting announcement. I'll share that with everybody as we get set for trivia coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Caller 18 right now at 844-770-3776. You get to play Wilde and Tausch trivia on a Wisconsin Geography Friday. Caller 18 right now, 844-770-3776. Wilde and Tausch trivia is coming up next on Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Well, are you thinking a new vehicle or even some vehicle maintenance would help kickstart your new year? Well, then get in touch with the great team at Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust. When it comes to safe winter driving, the place to prepare is not on the side of the road, it's at Zimbrick Chevrolet. And as you're hitting the road to visit family, gather with friends, to watch the game, or to experience a snowy weekend adventure, make sure your vehicle is ready to take on the Wisconsin winter. Get a tune-up. If your car is due for a scheduled maintenance or just needs a tune-up, do it now. If certain parts are damaged, like the water pump, hoses, and belts, they could unexpectedly leave you stranded. Check the battery. Cold temperatures reduce a battery's storage capacity, and the more frigid the temperature, the more power your engine needs to start. Zimbrick Chevrolet can install a new battery in minutes. Some more winter driving advice? Check your tires, change your oil, and keep the gas tank full. Make sure your vehicle is ready for the winter roads. Call to schedule an appointment with the great team at Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie or online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life. Hey, my name is Stacy Bruner. I was Bucky Badger from 2010 to 2014. My most memorable sports moment was running out the flag at the 2013 Rose Bowl versus Stanford. Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
It's December, which means it's truck weather, and nobody helps you gear up like Metro Ford of Madison. Right now, get a 2025 Ford F-150 with 0% APR for 60 or 66 months, with $0 down and no payments for 90 days. The 2025 F-150 2.7L SDX is here with 0% APR plus $1,250 retail bonus cash, $1,000 open bonus cash, and $1,000 MBC. But hurry, offers end January 5th. It's truck weather, so make it count today at MetroFordofMadison.com.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Donate at nationalparks.org/foundation.
We're on the Badgers.
There's no clarity. The clarity would come if Luke Fickell took another job.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
I have no idea what direction is going in. I have no faith in what direction it's going in.
This is 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Thanks again to Jason Wilde joining us en route to Minnesota. We will catch up with him again in the 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Still one segment to go in our opening hour. Jesse and Tausch holding it down here in our first show of 2026, getting you set for Packers and Vikings. We're going to play Wilde and Tausch trivia in just a moment. It is a Wisconsin Geography Friday. And Tausch, this is going to become the theme for our Wisconsin Geography Wednesdays coming up here. So I am excited to share this. So ESPN Wisconsin will be broadcasting WIAC basketball games throughout January and February, powered by the ESPN Wisconsin app. So you can stream the games, one a week. We're going to do 8 games, one at each campus of the WIAC schools. So we're going to be traveling the state.
I love this.
And it will be yours truly making the trip to each of these schools to call those games coming up here in January and February. Heck yeah.
So that's great. You're doing play-by-play. Who's doing color with you? Are you doing it solo?
It's going to be solo with a rotating cast of potential color commentators joining us from the different schools and communities.
Sure. Do we know what days that's going to be? Because I'm fairly certain you'll be taking off the next day then. Is that an accurate assessment?
So our first game is actually tomorrow afternoon. It's a Saturday afternoon tomorrow. A great game to start this adventure with everyone. Top 10 matchup, women's basketball. 10th ranked UW Whitewater at number 3 UW Oshkosh, a team that was in the Final Four last year. So we're in Oshkosh tomorrow afternoon. 3 o'clock tip on the ESPN Wisconsin app. I'll be on the call tomorrow afternoon. That is our first stop of our tour of the WIAC in January and February. And then the rest of our games will be on Wednesday nights throughout the next 2 months.
Okay.
So Wednesday night
So a lot of
games.
Thursdays off for gel.
Not necessarily.
Now, will we be doing video as well with this? Will this also be video?
It is a audio adventure, at least to start, and then we will see if we can open this up a little bit.
Such a great idea.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I've told you and Hunter, like our prep stuff with the video, it is dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
So this is such, and the WIAC, they got River Falls going for a Stag Bowl championship, I think, on Sunday
night. Yeah.
It is great sports, football, but whatever it might be. So I bet Demovsky will be excited about this because his kid plays up at Eau Claire. This is great. I could not be more excited about that announcement you just made.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to be part of it. It's something I've wanted to tap into for a while, and so I'm really excited that everybody's on board, and we're going to be able to bring that to you. So fans of college sports around the state can tune into the ESPN Wisconsin app tomorrow afternoon. Top 10 women's basketball, 10th ranked UW Whitewater, number 3 UW Oshkosh, and then we'll have games Wednesday nights, the rest of January and most of February on the ESPN Wisconsin app. So our Wisconsin Geography trivia each week is going to be about the WIAC school city that I'll be traveling to that day. So for this edition, questions about Oshkosh as we get set for Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Cousin Subs and Iron Jock.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs and Iron Jock. Performance apparel that actually performs. No stink, just performance. And proudly Wisconsin built. Shop now at ironjock.com.
And we welcome in today's contestant. Here's a city that I will not be traveling to during our WIAC tour of the state, and that is Mukwonago, my least favorite city in the state of Wisconsin. Chris in Mukwonago, welcome to Wilde and Tausch Trivia. How are you?
Thank you very much. I do the announcing for Mukwonago football, so I can appreciate your affection for Mukwonago. We have met. Yes.
Yeah, I love Chris is actually my number one favorite person from Mukwonago, more than Up North Joe when he grew up there, and definitely more than Josh DiMaggio and some of the other teammates I know who have gone to Mukwonago High School. So,
yeah, my daughter went to Mukwonago High School with Josh, actually.
Wow, small world, huh?
I know. All right. Let's hope I know anything about Oshkosh.
Yeah, so these questions are not about Mukwonago. They are about Oshkosh.
Hey, Chris, is Muskego, how would you say Muskego's foot? Are they tough, physical? Because that's always a fun matchup. What would you say Jesse's alma mater? How would you describe Muskego?
It is always a great battle. It's almost like a campus now. So, and they're going through a transition with their new football coach. So we'll see what happens there.
Legendary Ken Krause calling it a career at Muskego. It's going to be a big change for the Warriors. All right.
Yep. And McGuanago Wrestling beat Muskego Wrestling earlier this year. So,
well, can't win them all, I guess. We'll win all the other ones. Question number 1 for you, Chris and McGuanago. The city of Oshkosh is located along the banks of which major Wisconsin lake? Lake Winnebago, Lake Lusabago, or Lake Drawabago?
Lake Winnebago.
Yeah, that was an easy one. He's got it. 1 for 1.
Pretty easy. It's nice.
Thank you for the layup.
Still the holiday season for one more day here. Question 2. Which of these Wisconsin cities is located southeast of Oshkosh? Southeast of Oshkosh. Shawano, Sheboygan, or Shiocton?
Sheboygan.
Tausch was thinking about it. It is Sheboygan. You got to go across the lake, and it is along the banks of Lake Michigan. But yes, Sheboygan, located southeast. Shawano to the north. Shiocton, I believe, is south? I don't actually remember now that I looked at the map. It might be north.
Shiocton's north of Appleton, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be north. Well, that wasn't the question. Question number 3, Chris and McGuanago. Latitudinally, which of these attractions found in or around Oshkosh is located farthest north? Which of these things in and around Oshkosh is located farthest north? Is it Titan Stadium, home of the Oshkosh football team, the EAA Aviation Museum, or Oshkosh Arena, home of the Wisconsin Herd?
I'm going to go with EAA.
As you drive up 41, it's off to your right. And that's actually the farthest south of the 3 options, unfortunately. Chris, Tausch, you have a guess?
Titan Stadium.
Titan Stadium is furthest north in the city of Oshkosh. Chris, good performance. You got 2 out of 3 right. That means you have 3 of the possible 4 entries for our prize pack from Cousin Subs and Iron Jock that we'll draw for a little bit later in the show. Congratulations. Thanks for playing. Good luck to
I appreciate it.
McGuanago in nothing, and appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks for the honesty.
Chris in McGuanago, our contestant for Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs and Iron Jock. We are way behind, including an appearance from Rob Demovsky coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. So we'll get to our weekend preview very quickly to start the 10 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Toscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, I've told you for a while about how much I love Pizza Hut since I was a kid, and it's especially great around the holidays. Here's the winning play of the season. Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box is back. 2 medium pizzas, breadsticks, and a dessert starting at just $19.99. Feed your crew before the game, after the game, or while you watch. The Triple Treat Box, only at Pizza Hut. Order now at pizzahut.com and on the Pizza Hut app. Pizza Hut, feed good times, and remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Green Bay Packers wrap up the regular season this Sunday up in Minneapolis against the Vikings, and it looks like it'll be a skeleton crew for the G&G as they rest up and get healthy for Wild Card Weekend. With the Eagles also sitting their starters, it's looking like the Packers could be heading to Chicago yet again. Quarterback Jordan Love has officially been cleared from concussion protocol and is becoming a father. Congratulations to him. So it will be practice squad extraordinaire Clayton Tune getting the start for the Packers. It'll also be the first time we get to see cornerback Trevon Diggs. So fun storylines there. Kickoff is scheduled for noon on CBS. ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky, he'll be coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, so don't go anywhere. Wilde and Tausch with Jesse and Tausch continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts about the same time it does when Brian Bulaga appears on Wednesdays with us. Jesse and Tausch today because Jason joined us in the 9 o'clock hour as he is en route to Minneapolis to see the Packers and the Vikings on Sunday in the regular season finale. Rob Demovsky of ESPN going to join us in a few minutes to share his perspective on the Week 18 regular season finale coming up as well. Before we do that, though, there are other games with more at stake than the Packers and Vikings. Let's quickly get to this weekend's weekend preview. The special music. I love it. All right, couple of Saturday games, Tausch, on ESPN and ABC at 3:30. Panthers and Buccaneers. Panthers win the NFC South if they get the victory. If the Buccaneers win, they need the Saints to beat the Falcons on Sunday, and then the Buccaneers would be in the playoffs as the NFC South champion. Seahawks 49ers, number one seed in the NFC at stake, 7 o'clock Saturday night on ABC and the ESPN app. The loser is a wild card team in the NFC playoffs. On Sunday at noon, Cowboys-Giants, the game we're going to get televised on Fox on Sunday afternoon. Commanders and Eagles, your 3:25 game Sunday on CBS. Simultaneous too on Fox, Lions and Bears. So the Bears and Eagles will play at the same time as they work out who is the 2 and who is the 3 seed in the NFC playoffs and who the Packers will face in round 1. And then, of course, the big one, Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers trying to save his career and keep the Steelers alive for the playoffs, hosting Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football. Some really fun games and some ones that aren't going to be as significant in that batch. Tausch, which one stands out most to you that you don't want to miss?
Oh, well, I don't even think you mentioned San Francisco and Seattle. Right?
Yeah, I did. Saturday night. 7 o'clock Saturday night.
That is
Seahawks,
the
49ers.
most... To me, that's the most intriguing because it is the most at stake. I've said the number one seed will advance. I think as long as it's not Seattle. I think if Seattle wins that game, I don't trust Sam Darnold enough to do that, even though you don't have to play one extra week and you get that big-time home field advantage. That game is huge. The Bears-Lions game also is super intriguing to me. The Lions' disappointment, can they go and move the football like they did the first time around against this Bears defense? And can the Bears offense continue the streak that they're on? We'll see. That gives us a little bit of a purview into what next week might look like with the Packers-Bears game, more than likely to be the case. Those are the two games that are the most intriguing.
I'm really excited to watch Ravens-Steelers on Sunday night. Winner is in, loser goes home, and what's at stake for the head coaches involved there, what's at stake for Aaron Rodgers. There's just a lot of juice in that game on Sunday Night Football. Plus, it's Steelers-Ravens. Those are always close, highly contested games. Can't wait to watch that one on Sunday night. But you're right. The Saturday night game is also going to be a fun one to tune into, Seahawks and 49ers. That is your weekend preview here on Wilde and Tausch. ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter Rob Demovsky scheduled to appear coming up next. Of course, that Seahawks-49ers game, one of two on ESPN over the weekend. A reminder, when a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is, because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No offseason, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season. Get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or on your phone today. Rob Demovsky scheduled to appear next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
And not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Steady. I hit my thumb.
What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Did you swear that you'd get that house project done ages ago and now it's causing you real pain? From leaky faucets to light fixtures, let our handyman team at Bruner Realty fix it all. Fast, friendly, and without the agony. We take care of it so you don't have to. Visit fixedbybruner.com. That's fixedbybruner.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison is giving away $85,000 in cash this month in our double rollover jackpot. There will be 5 drawings every Tuesday and Friday throughout January. 10 winners every week. But you have to be here because if the winner isn't present, their prize rolls over to the next jackpot. Every Tuesday drawing is for $1,000 and Friday drawings are for $2,000. Then on Friday, January 30th, there are 5 $5,000 prizes. Don't let time tick away. Get to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Badger fans, get ready to give back and chuck some pucks. Join Wisconsin Men's Hockey Friday, January 9th as the Badgers host Chuck a Puck, presented by BMO when they take on Alaska Anchorage at 7 p.m. Donate new or gently used recess equipment for the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County to earn your chance to throw a puck on the ice after the game and win prizes like a Wisconsin hockey jersey, signed sticks, or 2026-27 season tickets. Get your tickets to the game now and learn more at uwbadgers.com.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
The Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings meet in the Week 18 regular season finale Sunday afternoon in Minnesota. It is a riveting game with storylines abundant. And to break it all down with us is ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter Rob Demovsky on Wilde and Tausch. Rob, I see you didn't get a head start like Jason did getting there early in Minnesota to make sure he could capitalize writing on all the intriguing storylines in this Week 18 finale. How are you, Rob?
Yeah, no, I travel regularly, and Jason goes to 2 road games a year, and he feels like he's got to leave early, I guess. I'm not really sure what's going on there. And he'll let everybody know that he was there, though.
He's gearing up.
Oh, I think you know, Rob. I think you know what's going on. I think you're well aware of what's going on.
It's the Channel3000.com Bowl. Looking forward to this one on Sunday.
Game.
Yeah.
Rob, what is it? Obviously the Trevon Diggs storyline brings a little intrigue. How do you think this all kind of went down? Do you think the Micah Parsons and the McKinney and all of those relationships are a big reason he's here? And what kind of impact can he have?
The biggest one might be Derek Ainsley on the coaching staff, because he coached him or recruited him right to Alabama. So I got to believe that Goody and LaFleur are more willing to listen to one of their coaches and their scouts instead of listening to Micah or Xavier McKinney. I mean, certainly those guys might be good character references. But here's the thing, Tausch. It's worth a shot, right? I mean, they're paying them $470,000 for a week, which in the NFL is nothing.
That's popcorn
they
money.
Really don't they really don't have a lot of other options, do they?
No, it's definitely worth the flyer, and especially with kind of the way that they're looking at not being able to get turnovers. That's what he specializes in. So it sounds as if Jason joined us earlier. Yeah, no, that's true. He's going to play, it sounds like, right? He's going to play up in Minnesota?
Sounds like it. I mean, that was the hope. Hafley said that they hope to get him in because they want to get him some experience before the playoffs. And, you might as well. I mean, I asked Hafley, is corner the easiest position to get thrown in right away? And, he said on the surface that, yes, he believes that's true. Although LaFleur believes that receiver is, and apparently they were talking about it in the office because he was ready for the answer. But he said some will tell you that's the easiest position. You just go tell a guy to cover a guy man to man, or tell a guy to play 3 deep, and that's what it is. But he did make the point. We may pass off coverage different than somebody else do. Do I play bump coverage? If it's 3 deep, is it a matchup 3 deep, or are you reading, or how are you handling motions? So it's not necessarily just go cover that guy wherever he goes. There are certain rules to it, but it is probably doable that he could play a little bit on Sunday.
Rob, were you I don't want to say taken aback, but surprised by Adam Stenovich's answer about Matthew Golden? Basically not.
Done.
Yeah, explain kind of how that all shook out. And I was for those who haven't heard that, kind of explain what that was and why you were so shocked.
Yeah, I mean, basically he was asked, Steno was asked about, Golden's opportunities and, what that could look like going forward. I'm trying to find the exact quote here. It was remarkable to hear him say, I don't know, have you guys played the audio or not?
No, we haven't.
Jesse doesn't clip audio.
Yeah, well, okay.
Okay, hold on. Bear with me. We're
Rob,
can you
clip that audio and send it to Jesse?
I'm on it. I'm on it. So, look, we all know that Golden has not had a ton of opportunities. Even a couple of weeks ago, Jordan Love was the week going into, I think, the Bears game. He had talked about how I'm sure that Matthew's probably disappointed and we need to do a better job getting him the ball. And he made it sound like it was that he was talking about this season, right? Like to get him the ball this season. And here's, let me see what I got here. The short version of the quote from Steno is, I think Golden's got a really bright future. He's talented and his time will come. But I think right now, just with the room the way it is, he's not going to be in that premier role when the playoffs come around. Like, you're already writing him off? Like that was a bit surprising that Steno would say something like that. I double taked when I heard it. Clearly that tells you that when they're sitting around game planning right now, that Matthew Golden is not in the number 1, 2, 3 progression that they go through, which I guess if you got Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Romeo Dobbs, I guess that makes sense. But just for him to say it was a little surprising.
Now, how would you look at his rookie season so far? Because I think we all, everybody's been clamoring for a first-round wideout forever, and I think Green Bay always looks at it like we're going to let these guys develop and grow at their timeline. Most people look at the Odunze, some of these guys that jump in and are impactful right away. That's just not how Green Bay does business, and that kind of is how Golden's played out.
It's a great point, Tausch, and it probably is why they haven't drafted first-round receivers in a long time, because they know that the way this offense works, it's not, targeting. We're going to just, run plays for this guy time after time. Now, when you become, a established number one like Jordy or Devontae and they're probably recent years, then you run plays for those guys. So it's a little bit of a, which came first, the chicken or the egg thing there. But they certainly have not gone out of their way to get him the ball. The surprising thing to me, Tausch, is, and I guess it just goes to show you should remind me of this in training camp next year when you ask me about who's standing out and who's doing this. Matthew Golden was as good as any receiver coming in that I've seen in training camp in a long, long time. He caught everything. He had one drop the very first day of practice, and it was a high ball over the middle that really went off his hands. It was not a good throw, but it was probably a drop. And after that, I don't think he dropped a single ball. And it's not like he wasn't getting targets. He was getting tons of targets. So that's the thing that's just really baffling to me is I thought in training camp, man, this guy looked like he was going to be a monster. Now, Luke Musgrave's rookie training camp was really good too. So maybe training camp just means nothing other than getting guys in shape.
Great. Talking with ESPN.
All right, and Rob's training camp breakdown is brought to you by...
That's as good as
so basically, I guess what I'm saying is don't bother reading anything I write in training camp next year.
There you go. Wake me in September is what you're saying.
Turns out when we asked Jason, what are you seeing out there? Nothing really. Maybe that is pretty accurate. Talking with Rob Demovsky, ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter on Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. Are the Packers doing the right thing here, Rob, by starting Clayton Tune against the Vikings on Sunday?
Well, I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions, Jesse. ESPN pays me pretty well, but they don't pay me that well to make, Matt LaFleur's making a lot more money than I am to make those decisions. There's no good decision here. There really isn't. If you play Jordan Love and he gets hurt, you're the worst coach in the world. If you don't play him and Jordan Love comes out in the playoffs and is missing receivers by a mile and, turning the ball over and not making the right reads, well, it's because he didn't play the last 2.5 games of the season. Now, obviously, there's no control over the last game and a half with the concussion protocol. There's nothing you can do about that. But I don't know. I've gone back and forth on this. As you guys know, I've talked about this time and time again. I am a big believer in momentum and confidence. I've always been that way, but at what expense? I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to make those kind of decisions.
Rob, Jason mentioned in his conversation yesterday I think it was with Jordan, about the practice and games, and basically missing 2.5 games is a lot, and then you're going to get thrown into a playoff game. And he basically was saying, well, practice is just the same. And we all know that's just not true, right? To get put in that position, you're going. There's a reason there's games. There's a reason there's practice. Yeah. You're talking on injury, the risk reward. That is all fair game. But let's not try and act like playing in a game isn't much different than practicing.
No, and the only thing, Tausch, I will say this: they have done things that they wouldn't normally do in a week 17 or week 18. Practice. They've done more ones against ones. So they are trying to get something out of the ordinary than just your regular offense going against the scout defense and vice versa. They are trying to do more one good against good. And at least that's what Matt LaFleur told us. We're not at practice for, other than taking attendance. So I can't say I've seen it, but I don't have any reason to think they're not doing it because multiple guys have talked about it. And that's the only thing you really can do if you're not going to play in games. And no, is it anywhere close to regular season? No, but it is better than going off the cards, right? The offense going against scout defense is, I mean, I don't want to say it's not full speed, but it certainly isn't much more than about 3/4 speed in practice, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Rob, you're going up there. You're going up there much later than Jason. Jason's obviously beating you up there by 2 or 3 days, but you're going to be covering this game. What are you looking for? What storylines? Because I'm on to Chicago. I think most of our fans are, let's just get this thing going to the playoffs. Let's go. But there is a game. What are you looking for up there Sunday?
Yeah, I'm looking for someone, to, especially in the secondary, to show that this defense can handle what's to come in the playoffs. And they may not play Keyshawn Nixon. I'm not 100% sure, but they are going to play corners in this game that will have to play in the postseason. And you need to see if those guys can do it. I would love to see if anybody can show any more pass rush ability and disruptiveness that gives you optimism that they can get something done in the playoffs, because it hasn't been there the last couple of weeks. Just things like that, Tausch, and just sort of the general vibe of the team. Like that to me might be the most, interesting thing, just observing body language, how guys are acting in the locker room, on the sideline, that kind of thing. That's about all you can really tell from this game. I mean, I think we all are to the point where let's just get to the playoffs and see if this team's got anything in it.
Yeah, last one for me, Rob. Whether you win or lose this game, you don't want to have a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah.
But if Jordan's not playing and Jacobs isn't playing and Keyshawn's not playing, you know this as well as I do. When you meet again with the team Tuesday, Wednesday, and interview guys, you know what's going to be said, win or lose Sunday. Yeah. It's a new season. Everybody's record is 0-0. Everything else is thrown out, baby with the bathwater, whatever that is. So that's why I can't get excited about Sunday, because I know how this thing goes. Is that kind of where your camp is too?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody that's going to this game looks at it like it's basically a preseason game, get through without getting anybody hurt. Maybe somebody makes a play or two, and then you put it to bed and move on. Like, I don't know how it works with coaches and film, but I can't imagine that they spend a ton of time reviewing the film of this game. Maybe that's something that you do after the season, because you do want to grade, let's say, I don't know who plays, somebody else that plays at center. Let's say Jacob Monk plays center instead of Sean Ryan this week. You do want to grade the tape and, see what Jacob Monk did, but I don't know that you do that right away.
Mm-hmm. ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky joining us on Wilde and Tausch. Jason is not treating this like a preseason game. He's saying this is one of the biggest games of the year.
Super Bowl.
He's getting ready to head up there for the Channel3000.com Bowl. Yeah. So 2 quick questions for you, Rob. Number one, and I want to preface by saying I don't believe this, but I feel like I want to ask you about it.
Let's have a conversation.
No. Well, it's in that same vein, yes. But I do not believe this. I think Matt LaFleur is totally fine coming back next year. Do you believe, because of this losing streak down the stretch, let's say they lose this weekend and then lose in the wild card round to Chicago or Philadelphia, is this game on Sunday in any way a indication of whether Matt LaFleur will continue as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers?
The Vikings game? No, I don't think it has any bearing on it. If you're Ed Policy, I would think by now and here's my standard answer to this, Jesse, is we don't know anything about Ed Policy. We really don't. We had one sit-down conversation with them, the beat writers did in June or July, and that was, of course, where the lame duck, don't want lame duck things, but I'm not giving anybody a contract extension. That's where that comes from. But beyond that, we have zero idea, what Ed Policy is thinking, and that's all that really matters. I do know that when you read national stuff, and we had a piece this week on ESPN.com by Dan Graziano, and I think Jeremy Fowler was the co-author of that, about coaching changes and who could be where. I mean, they didn't even mention Matt LaFleur as possibly being, on the hot seat. I remember this was, earlier in the year, but I remember being in New York talking to the Giants beat writers, and they were like, is LaFleur really on the hot seat? Like, there's no way, right? And that's sort of the national perception, but locally we all nitpick, and I think a lot of teams and fans do that, or a lot of reporters and fans do that with their team. because that's what they see on a daily basis. But if I do not know, I don't know what is going to happen with him. This has been the strangest, wackiest season. I wouldn't even begin to guess based on them trading for Micah Parsons. I never would have thought that would have happened. I thought that person was in my office for a second. I don't know if you saw me behind me.
No, somebody else.
Anyway,
God, you're seeing ghosts. You're like Sam Darnold.
Did you only?
I am. I don't know where to throw it. But no, I mean, like, there's so many crazy things have happened this season, beginning with Micah Parsons being traded, that I can't rule anything out. I mean, there's a bunch of scenarios. Matt LaFleur is back without a contract, and he is a lame duck. There's the fact he's back with a contract extension. He's not back at all because they fire him or
trade him.
The wild card.
You could trade him.
Yeah. Right? That was my last. That was my last one.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, what a weird thing. And again, I don't think that's what's at stake this week. There were a few texts that came in that said, like, choosing to sit the starter is going to be the end of Matt LaFleur. I don't think that has anything to do with the conversation taking place.
Maybe he's sitting the starters because he knows he's fine and getting a contract. I mean, I'm just throwing that. I have no idea.
Or maybe he knows that Sunday has no bearing on anything, and it all comes down to next weekend, like everybody else thinks, because that's the reality of the situation.
Very, very true.
Last,
Rob, has there ever been? Is this the most irrelevant end of the season game that we've seen?
Ooh. No, I mean, 2011, right? The Matt Flynn game. I mean, going into that, you wouldn't have thought Matt Flynn was going to throw for 400 yards. Turned out to be a great game, but that was irrelevant, right? I mean, that's just off the top of my head. Maybe Clayton Tune goes for 375, 4 tugs and no picks. And he's getting a contract from the Seattle Seahawks, and then they draft Billy Edwards Jr.
Maybe.
He's in the portal. I don't know if he's. I think he's in the portal.
Last one, Rob. So I didn't see what Stedovich said because I was too busy reading the Power Rankings article this week. And I know Tausch doesn't read these, so now I can bring it up for him. The Packers check in.
I like actually seeing quotes that happening at the stadium.
The Packers check in at number 12. Well, Rob, I don't want to say I feel like you kind of went back to Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur need to get along, but what
did Rob do?
What we learned this season about the Green Bay Packers, they need edge rusher Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that was the best I could do. What else did you learn about this team? That's the only thing I learned is that Micah Parsons is very, very important. He's the only Pro Bowler. I didn't have a lot. I didn't like the assignment. I didn't like the play call. I ran the play. I didn't like the call.
The audible.
You didn't learn anything.
Can.
We did 18 weeks of this. You didn't learn anything else except Micah Parsons is
Well,
pretty good.
Jesse,
They need him out there.
Hey, Jesse, what did you learn? What did you learn about this team?
What did I learn?
I learned something from LaFleur's press conference, which starts in 3 minutes, so I need to get down there.
All right. Well, you go do that, Rob. Thank you. Appreciate it. ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter Rob Demovsky joining us on Wilde and Tausch. I learned Christian Watson is better than I thought he was, and a more important part of the Packers offense than I thought. I learned Jeff Hafley is certainly going to be an NFL head coach, whether it's in the state of Wisconsin or elsewhere. He is head coach material for what he's led the defense and the way that he has done it this year and over the couple of years that he's been in Green Bay. I've learned the Packers need help at corner. I've learned I don't know why they haven't run the ball better with Josh Jacobs throughout the course of the season, but they want to run the football effectively in the postseason, and I feel like they haven't been doing that yet. How about that? 4 things there.
That last sentence you just said made no sense at all.
I've
learned that I don't know why they didn't. Like, that's not learning.
All right, fair. How do I want to phrase that better then?
Why don't we take a break and you give yourself a beat? The reason it's a great question, and I'm glad Rob posed it. I'm glad you did. But this season's been more descript than last season. Last season, this was a really tough question to answer. This season, I don't think it should be.
We will talk more about that coming up next. Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
What was that?
It was just me or, I got such a bargain. Poorly constructed sofa falling apart.
I just bought you.
Yeah, well, I did just turn 3, I mean, at 67 in sofa years, I am so ready to retire and move to Miami.
I knew I should have listened to my mother and bought that other sofa from Steinhoff's. It was so strong and comfy.
Tired of furniture that doesn't hold up to its end of the bargain? Steinhoff's has quality furniture for every style and budget. Relax, it's Steinhoff's.
Happy New Year and happy new engagement. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. You have heard me talk about corporate, fundraising, and even casino events, but we are also amazing wedding DJs. Never cheesy and always the perfect fit for the perfect couple. Please let us help you narrate your wedding day love story while playing an amazing soundtrack that will rock your dance floor. Create lifelong memories of your one special day. Do it right and do it with celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Mark Tosher here for Pizza Hut. Well, I've told you for a while about how much I love Pizza Hut since I was a kid, and it's especially great around the holidays. Here's the winning play of the season. Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box is back. 2 medium pizzas, breadsticks, and a dessert starting at just $19.99. Feed your crew before the game, after the game, or while you watch. The Triple Treat Box, only at Pizza Hut. Order now at pizzahut.com and on the Pizza Hut app. Pizza Hut, feed good times, and remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's no second chances. There's no do-overs. We're definitely primed to take that next step. That's the focus and the goal.
This is your Green and Gold Fix on 100.5 ESPN.
It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, pain to get to where you want to go.
This Green and Gold Fix is driven by Metro Ford.
Despite Jordan Love passing concussion protocol, head coach Matt LaFleur announced before Thursday's practice that Clayton Tune will start in Sunday's regular season finale against the Vikings in Minnesota. Here's Jordan Love when asked how missing the last 2.5 games of the season will affect him going into the playoffs.
I would even argue sometimes that in the game it feels like it slows down a little bit compared to practice. So, no, that's something where I played all season. It's not like I sat out all season and just coming back. I have a lot of bank reps playing out there.
Packers will kick off against the Vikings at noon on Sunday. I'm Will Summers.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Hey, it's Bobby Stricker. And I'm Izzy Stricker. Golf is a pretty big deal for us, and we want to see it grow. That's why we've teamed up with Good Lion Golf right here in Madison. It's golf apparel made for the course, but perfect for everyday life. From hoodies and jackets to beanies and caps, it's a break from the same old clothes found in the pro shop. Good Lion is designed right here in Madison and is built on community, creativity, and connection. Check out goodliongolf.com and join the humble pride today.
Use code ESPN20 for 20% off your order. That's goodliongolf.com.
Want to move better, play faster, and compete at a higher level? Train where Wisconsin's top athletes go. Total Athlete Performance. From middle school phenoms to the pros, TAP is Madison's #1 destination for speed, power, and athleticism. Their proven systems, expert coaches, and cutting-edge equipment help you dominate your sport. Can't make it in? Train anywhere with the TAP mobile app. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Visit tapwisconsin.com to schedule your free athletic assessment today.
If you're still hunting for that perfect holiday gift, trust me, go see Jim at Condon Jewelers. They've got the best gold prices in town, so your budget goes further and your gift looks way more impressive under the tree. And hey, holiday shopping can be stressful. If you've picked out the wrong gift, don't worry. Jim and the team at Condon will help you bring it back and find the right one. No pressure, no hassle. Just the kind of help you wish every store offered this time of the year. So make it easy on yourself and make it unforgettable for them. See Jim at Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Jesse and Tausch continuing on Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde scheduled to appear with us in the 11 o'clock hour as he continues his travel en route to Minneapolis for the Week 18 regular season finale between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Thanks again to Rob Demovsky, ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter, joining us from Green Bay, where he had to dip out because he had to go to Matt LaFleur's press conference starting up in Titletown. So looking forward to seeing what the head coach has to say today. Oh, boy. You got another one? For those who are not watching, With us on the video stream, Tausch just held up a pun-a-day calendar up in front of the video stream here. What is it?
Yeah, it's a 2026 pun-a-day calendar. And, you guys, I usually fuddle-duddle out about mid-January because you guys get bored with it, which is fine.
No, I want you to continue with them. Usually you go on a vacation or something where you don't have it, and then you have a tough time getting back in rhythm when you come back. So that's where
fair.
We want to stay in rhythm with it is all. So what's our
All right,
first
I
pun?
will wait. I'm going to start. I'll start that on Monday. I don't want to get into it.
Why wait until Monday? Where it's already the second of the year. We already missed a day.
Well, isn't today the 3rd? Today's the 2nd.
Today's the 2nd. Yeah, understand.
Right.
Very
well,
complicated.
Because this is
going to
be more visual this year.
Oh,
you can do it with a can of tuna. Which can you explain that to me?
You can do it. You can like a can of tuna.
Not great.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a real pun. Just threw a can in there.
Why would they?
I don't fully understand. Like, there's a can of tuna, and you can do it. That's why I wanted to wait till Monday, but there you go. 'Cause I didn't understand it.
That'd be a homophone.
Hot start. All right. Pun calendar returns.
It's not as good as I had hoped to
So-
start, but maybe it'll get better.
Our discussion before the break, you said this season has been more descript for the Packers in that it's been very on the nose what we have learned about them here in 2025. Would you care to elaborate any further on that point?
Absolutely. You have guys that are dogs and the best at their position, and we have now learned who our rock stars are going to be in this era of this next 3 years of football. We know who our guys are. We have a great idea of who the stars are going to be. You got Jordan Love, you got Christian Watson, you got Tucker Kraft, you got Micah Parsons, you got Edgerrin Cooper, and you got Evan Williams and McKinney. So last year we didn't have any of that answered. I don't think you could say any of that. You look at Jordan Love's numbers this year, he's much better than he was last year. He's more consistent. You look at Christian Watson, he has emerged as not just a deep threat. He's a really good wideout. And then obviously Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons. Tucker Kraft took the jump that we hoped and is the guy. And Evan Williams has elevated himself to being the guy, and I think Edgerrin Cooper has too. So I think you've learned a lot that we have our stars, we have our field tilters. Now it comes, can we supplement everybody else and be up to par depth-wise where we need to be, because maybe we haven't, and that's why we've struggled here, especially at the end of this season.
Interesting list that you just rattled off there. Jordan Love, Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft, Micah Parsons, Edgerrin Cooper, Evan Williams, Xavier McKinney. Those are your seven. Yep. That's your core of the Green Bay Packers for the next 3 years.
Those are my dogs that I believe can be Pro Bowl and all-pro players.
So notice
I would add Zach Tom when he's healthy into that equation. So put him as my 8th guy, because I'm going to go with my grade 8. I've learned about my grade 8. There's probably some guys I'm forgetting. I think Devontae Wyatt, if he could stay healthy, but he can't. He didn't, and he's out. So Tucker Kraft showed me enough, even though he's injured and out. Same with Micah, obviously. But we have our great 8 to really now it's up to Goody and everybody else to what are those other pieces going to look like that can get, because that group is good enough to win it all. That is as good of a grade 8 as you're going to find.
So no corner listed on that list. No running back listed on that list. Oh,
who would you put in?
There isn't one. I'm just filling in the gaps here. So corner is a weakness.
Oh, okay.
You didn't put Josh Jacobs on this list. That's interesting.
I'm not going to say a weakness. It's Josh Jacobs has been dinged up and has not been as effective. I like Josh Jacobs. There's a good chance he's not back on this team next year. It's going to have to be a new deal for him to come back. He's not coming back on the same contract he's got right now.
Do you think there should be another offensive line? Would it be better for another offensive lineman to be on the list in addition to Zach Tom instead of one of the other guys for the team to be in a better position to contend for a Super Bowl? How about that?
Yeah, that would be great. But I think Belton is going to be a core guy. I think he's getting better and better. And I think Jordan Morgan's going to be your starting left tackle next year. So Jordan Morgan has shown, and Matt LaFleur mentioned it after the game last week, he's an outside player. Now they know that. They knew it. But I think he is going to exclusively be playing left tackle once Rasheed Walker ends up signing somewhere else, would be my guess.
We will get to our prize picks of the week coming up next. There could be an interesting wrinkle there because there was only one projection listed as of 9 o'clock last night for the Packers-Vikings game. So we'll have to see how we want to navigate that. Before we get to our prize picks of the week, though, it's time to put Riley Yauk to work on the phones for our Iron Jock tumbler giveaway, Tausch.
No, it's a hat. We have moved to a hat
now. Oh, it's a hat. Oh, boy.
Yes.
Let's go.
That's even better. All right.
Something different.
Well, so when Riley filled in last, you I don't even know how this all played out. Riley was all about, I'll take every caller that you want.
He's
I don't
a young
care.
whippersnapper. A lot of energy.
He's naive is what he is. He's naive. So I'm going to let you guys decide if you want to show me up and take whatever caller you want, or if you want to play this fairly. Tausch, it's up to you and Riley.
Yeah, I'm not going to put Riley in that spot because we've blown past that number, and with us being up against the clock and it's a Friday right after the holidays, I'm going to play it a little bit safer. I brought in 63 hats last time for off the top of my head. 63 hats, and I bet you about 60 of them are still sitting back there. So caller 63 at 844-770-3776. It's a new year. We're going to start a little bit slower. New goals, and Iron Jock is here to help you stick to them, whether you're hitting the gym, headed to work, or just trying to smell better in 2026. The Iron Jock gear has you covered. And right now, ESPN listeners can take 30% off all Iron Jock gear on orders over $75. Just use the promo code ESPN30 at the checkout. Again, that's promo code ESPN30. Look good, smell great, and start the year strong with Iron Jock. And right now is your chance to win an Iron Jock hat. Caller 63 for Rasheed Walker and how many hats I left in the ESPN Madison studio. Caller number 63 to win an Iron Jock hat here on Wilde and Tausch.
Caller 63 for Riley right now wins an Iron Jock hat, and our prize picks of the week are coming up next as we continue to preview Packers-Vikings next on Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Badgers.
Why in God's name, besides money, would you come to Wisconsin?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
I am disgusted with the program situation right now. They have to prove me wrong, and I hope they do.
This is 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tosher here, encouraging you to stick around for the first Feelgood Friday of the new year, coming up to close out today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. Well, does your next paint project call for bold colors of your favorite team, like green and gold, or cardinal and white? For whatever your next project calls for, do what my family did and trust Home and Lindsay's pro painters to get the job done right. Choosing the pros is the way to go. All you have to do to get connected with them is stop into any of Home and Lindsay's Madison area locations, ask, and they'll help find the pro painters best suited for what you need. And remember, Home and Lindsay is the one paint you can trust to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint, and Wisconsin's best painters are the pro painters at Home and Lindsay Paints. Home and Lindsay, great paint, great people. And stick around for Feelgood Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
Looking to buy your next home or ready to sell and move on to bigger and better things? What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Don't be left out in the cold this season. Let's get housed. Nobody knows what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Thursday, January 29th for Andy North Trivia Night presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and along with the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
Hey, it's Bobby Stricker. And I'm Izzy Stricker. Golf is a pretty big deal for us, and we want to see it grow. That's why we've teamed up with Good Lion Golf right here in Madison. It's golf apparel made for the course, but perfect for everyday life. From hoodies and jackets to beanies and caps, it's a break from the same old clothes found in the pro shop.
Good Lion is designed right here in Madison and is built on community, creativity, and connection.
Check out goodliongolf.com and join the humble pride today.
Use code ESPN20 for 20% off your order. That's goodliongolf.com.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Donate at nationalparks.org/foundation.
The Don has spoken.
Everybody has the same issues. Everyone has NIL issues. Everyone has transfer portal issues. It's up to our guys to figure out how to manage it.
The Barry Alvarez Show, Mondays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch continuing. Jason Wilde scheduled to appear coming up in a few minutes as he continues to travel to Minnesota to preview Packers Vikings in the regular season finale on Sunday afternoon. Congratulations to Nick in Wanakee, our winner of the Iron Jock hat, the new giveaway from our friends at Iron Jock. Awesome prize. Congratulations to Nick in Wanakee. Caller 63 is our big winner of the day. So I have just logged on to Prize Picks, and I can confirm there is still only one projection in the entire Packers-Vikings game currently listed. There will be more, there is no doubt, as we get closer to kickoff, but with all the uncertainty about who is playing and not playing, wisely, the great team at Prize Picks has decided to keep a lot of players and their corresponding projections off the board leading into the finale on Sunday afternoon. So that serves as the backdrop for this week's Prize Picks of the Week. Tausch, any guesses who the one player is listed with a projection on Prize Picks for Packers-Vikings?
J.J. McCarthy.
It is not J.J. McCarthy. Although the initials are there. The initials are there.
Jay Jettis?
Justin Jefferson, 64.5 receiving yards. Apparently, no matter who is quarterbacking the Vikings, no matter who is starting or not starting on offense for Minnesota, that projection will remain constant. Justin Jefferson, 64.5 receiving yards. The lone projection listed for Packers-Vikings as of 11 a.m. on Friday. Tausch, more or less?
More. I think, and I don't know, you know, the beautiful part about this when you're talking about Prize Picks is this time of the year, guys have incentives and guys want to reach those incentives. So I don't know if that number has something to do for Jay Jettis. I've seen Keenan Allen has some numbers in order to make an extra $1 million, and he is going to push to get that. Quarterbacks want to get their guys paid. Coaches want to get their guys paid. If they've done it and are close, they scheme and do things. You see the clip of Gronkowski with Tampa when he got that one catch for $1 million. He said, $1 million! There's $1 million for me! And Brady got it to him. That's where I would think that this is going to come into play. But I think Jettis will have a pretty good day and over 64 or more.
So before we move on, because I've got 3 listed for some other players that have projections on the board of interest potentially to us fans here in the state of Wisconsin. Are there any players that you're interested in that could be posted that you would feel pretty good about? Clayton Tune or any of the receivers? And nobody. Just you're probably going to stay away from this one entirely.
I think I'd look at – here's what I would look at are the games that matter and that guys are going to be going full tilt trying to figure it out, whether that's the San Fran and Seattle game and it's going to be McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Those would be the guys I'd look at. In this game, it's just there's so much uncertainty. Now, if Clayton Tune gets out there and it's only, 100 yards passing, I would think you'd be able to muster that up. That's Matt LaFleur, scheming some things. If there's which wideouts are going to end up playing, I don't even know. Neither do they right now. So that's why Prize Picks has only put one blanking thing up for the whole Packer-Viking game. It's crazy.
I've never seen it before where there's only one projection for the entire game, 48 hours from kickoff. It's remarkable. A couple other notable ones here. Aaron Rodgers, more or less than 205.5 passing yards in their winner-take-all game on Sunday night.
I would say more. We saw what Malik Willis did to that Ravens defense, right?
Yeah, but he can run. Aaron Rodgers can't run anymore.
Didn't Malik throw for 285?
He did, but that was also in part because he had
the about running?
Because the mobility forces the Ravens defense to play closer to the line, then he can go over the top like that. The MO
is that how defense works?
Okay. I didn't think I needed to explain it to you, but the MO on Malik Willis is
you don't. That's complete. No, that's not. But okay, sure. Okay.
You don't think that Malik Willis being a mobile quarterback played any part in him throwing for 285 yards against the Ravens?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Then I guess.
What did that have to do with him throwing that long touchdown? Like, explain to me what that had to do. Was it that he got out of the pocket, and is that where he threw all of his big plays, or was it from the pocket?
Malik Willis. Even when he came into remember with the first couple of games he started for the Titans, like he barely threw the football.
No, I'm asking last week, Jesse. I'm not asking when he was with Tennessee.
But I'm saying the brand of Malik Willis is that he is a mobile quarterback. There were designed runs which he was successful in rushing for touchdowns against the Ravens also on Saturday night, you may forget. Yeah. And so his mobility...
Jesse, my bad. I thought you said passing yards, not rushing yards.
I'm saying...
You said rushing yards. 200 rushing yards. I'm going less for Aaron Rodgers. I didn't know you said rushing. That's on me.
Travis Kelce, more or less than 0.5 rushing or receiving touchdowns against the Raiders in what might be his last game of his career.
More. They'll get him a tutter.
That's what I was thinking, too. I like that one. All right. Hey, we agree. Caleb Williams' completion percentage has been one of our favorites this year. More or less than 61.9% completion percentage against the Lions for Caleb Williams.
Detroit's defense is bad. Their secondary's beat up. I still am going less. That's not his deal. Rashawn Gary's not a snap count guy, and Caleb Williams isn't a completion percentage guy. So less.
All right. Those are your prize picks of the week. Aaron Rodgers passing yards. The great team at Prize.
What that has to do with Malik Willis still, I'm just dumbfounded by that.
Because, all right.
Malik Willis torched them with his arm and his legs.
Yes, he did both. He was very good. I was there in the stands, Coors Light in hand, watching the game. It was a great performance by Malik Willis. The Ravens' defense has not been very good this year. I agree with more on 205.5 passing yards for Aaron Rodgers passing on Sunday night. I am in agreement with you. That is the projection that I would pick on Prize Picks. I'm saying when you're assessing how Malik Willis threw the ball against the Ravens, you have to factor in that the defense was also game planning for him to be a mobile running quarterback a decent amount of the time. And so it allowed some of the receivers to get open over the top for some of those big plays, especially the ones we saw early on the back-to-back two that scored the touchdown right away. They didn't expect that out of the gates. They expected more running the football, controlling tempo.
Okay, I'm glad you had access to Baltimore's game plan.
Would you like to tell us about Prize Picks?
It's holiday season and the best time of the year for sports. You got bowl games, basketball matchups, and, of course, playoff pushes, all happening at once. And the simplest way to play daily fantasy is with Prize Picks. Make your picks once they get listed in less than 60 seconds. Choose more or less on at least 2 player stats. Get them right, cash in. And new this season, you have early payouts. Your lineup gets off to a hot start. You might be able to cash out before the game even ends. Deposits, they're fast and easy with Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI, and you get $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
When Jason joins us next, where on the route from Green Bay to Minneapolis do you think he will be when we introduce him?
Eau Claire.
You think he's that far already? Huh.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go.
He's going to want to get up to the mall. He's going to want to go get a pretzel in one hand, a shake in the other. He'll be up there.
All right, I'm taking less on Eau Claire, but we will find out when Jason joins us to kick off the 11 o'clock hour with our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Celebrate the season of Audi at Audi Madison. Take advantage of 1.99% APR for 72 months when you purchase a 2025 Audi Q5 Quattro. National customer credit is good towards the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but only available until January 5th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Ho, ho, ho! This is Monte Ball. Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown! You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update, brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus in Mount Horeb, your homegrown auction powerhouse. From government assets to vehicles and equipment, find your next deal at wisconsinsurplus.com. The Green Bay Packers wrap up the regular season this Sunday up in Minneapolis against the Vikings, and it looks like it'll be a skeleton crew for the G&G as they rest up and try to get healthy for Wild Card Weekend. With the Philadelphia Eagles also sitting their starters, it's looking more and more like the Packers could be heading to Chicago yet again. Quarterback Jordan Love has officially been cleared from concussion protocol and is becoming a father. Congrats to him. So it will be practice squad extraordinaire Clayton Tune getting the start for the Packers. It'll also be the first time we get to see cornerback Trevon Diggs, so maybe some interesting things there. Kickoff is scheduled for noon on CBS. We still have our Sleepers of the Week and headlines with Jason Wilde coming up next on Wilde and Tausch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch, although we will be joined by Jason Wilde coming up here in a moment. This is going to be a very interesting week for our Steinhoffels Sleepers of the Week. Easy for me to say. We are separated by 2 points from first to last in our season standings.
Good battle.
With 1 week to go after the results last week from AFC Richmond Analytics. Yeah.
It depends who you look at and how that goes.
Well,
quickly,
yeah.
Little report from Rob Demovsky from the podium. Someone asked LaFleur, who is the number 2 quarterback this week behind Clayton Tune? The answer, to be determined, which means absolutely nothing. I think it's going to be Desmond Ridder. That's what I think is going to happen.
Thank you for that report.
You're welcome.
You think Jordan Love comes out in street clothes? He's not even active for the game? Okay.
Yeah, if you're not going to play him, why on earth would you put him as a backup and then have to play him for a full game if something happens? That makes no sense. It's going to be Malik Willis or Ridder. Otherwise, none of this makes any sense to me.
I guess that also makes sense why you would bring in a guy that has played in the NFL and started games before and beaten the Green Bay Packers, because if it comes to an emergency situation, at least he's been on a field before and knows what he's doing getting out there. Desmond Ridder in Green Bay earlier this week. For more on that, we bring in Jason Wilde en route to Minneapolis for the big Week 18 showdown between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Jason,
Osseo Fairchild.
Yeah, where are you? We got a big wager on it. Where are you right now?
We just passed through Wausau, and we're beyond that by about 15 minutes.
Yeah, not even close to Eau Claire. Not even close.
He's not. Yeah, I thought he'd be a little further along, so that's on me.
Well, our clock management has not been great.
You're heading into the pie corridor, though, of Rice Lake and Osseo.
You're going to stop for a
That's
lunch
the
pie
corridor of the state of Wisconsin.
Signal. Okay. That's really the most important thing.
Yeah, his phone signal's not doing so hot, so okay.
Jason, what did you think? I just gave Demovsky, Demovsky just tweeted about who's going to be the backup, and it's to be determined. I couldn't agree with you more. Like, if you're going to not play Jordan Love, then don't play him. You're not going to suit him up, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure that the way I asked the question yesterday was appropriate, but the only way you make sure you're not risking him is if you don't suit him up, because you have no control if he's your number 2 backup. And frankly, I would maybe go in with one and then just punt on first down if I have to the rest of the time. Okay, maybe not that, but we know that Jaden Reed is the emergency quarterback. Like, if you don't think you can find roster space for Desmond Ridder, then what the hell did you bring him in for? Like, he has to be one of your 2 practice squad call-ups, and then you call up a wide receiver or whoever it might be. Like, just I assume they have to. Can they get through with 2 running backs? Can they get through with just Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks? Because then you do that, right? Like, I just the idea that you're going to have Jordan Love in uniform when the whole idea of playing this game the way you're going to is to make sure you don't get Jordan Love hurt. I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Jason joins us en route to Minnesota, in large part because we're going to do our headlines coming up next, predicting the outcome of the Channel3000.com Bowl on Sunday afternoon, but also because it has been such a highly contested contest among the 3 of us all season long. It is time now for our Steinhoffels Sleepers of the Week.
Don't sleep, you gotta stay up. Hey there, sleepyhead. Wakey, wakey. Okay, campers, rise and shine. It's time for the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week on Wilde and Tausch.
It is time for the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week, presented by Steinhoffel, where you can ring in the new year with big savings during Steinhoffel's New Year's. Right now, take 10% off store-wide, plus get $50 off every $499 you spend. So the more you shop, the more you save. And don't miss this. Stop in and test rest a mattress. You'll get a $20 gift card for lunch. And Steinhoffels will also donate $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin, helping create dream bedrooms for kids battling cancer. they donate $1,000 every time whoever's kicking for the Packers, and obviously it's been Brandon McManus now for quite a while. Again, every time they make a field goal, it's another $1,000 to Special Spaces Wisconsin from Steinhoffels. You can shop in-store or online during Steinhoffels' New Year's 4-day sale, either in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
How about that? A read from the road from Jason Wilde. Well done.
He's a pro.
Even though Jason's on the road joining the show remotely, we are going to keep the rules in place, which is Tausch always goes first for an unfair competitive advantage.
Exactly. And this is the first time in forever, 10 years of doing the show, that I haven't clinched the Steinhoffels championship. Usually I just clinch it by about week 14.
Usually, yeah.
Dogfight. It's easy for me. I know who's going to be playing quarterback. I think he's going to have a good day. I'm going Clayton Tune as my Steinhoffel sleeper of the week.
Jason?
Pick the starting quarterback, huh? Nothing.
Yeah, he's never taken a snap in his life in the NFL, except for last week.
He started a game back as a rookie. So
I forgot.
So he played in college. He played in college with Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden has not been overly productive. I know Matt LaFleur talked about him at the podium today. So if you're going to take the starting quarterback, I'm going to take the first-round pick. I'll take Matthew Golden.
All right. I'm going to go with Chris Brooks because I think this is going to be vanilla offense USA, and it's going to be run the football with the third-string running back. Chris Brooks is my Steinhoffels sleeper of the week selection. So we have the starting quarterback, the number 1 draft pick wide receiver, and running back Chris Brooks. Those are our picks for this week. Steinhoffels sleepers of the week for Packers Vikings. Jason, do you have any indication of anyone else who will be playing a significant amount of time at this juncture, 48 hours from kickoff?
Yeah, sure. Bo Melton, Luke Musgrave. He's been a popular pick for our Steinhoffel sleepers of the week. Josh Wiley. I'm guessing they're going to go in with only 2 tight ends because, again, if they need to use their practice squad call-ups, they got to use one on Desmond Ridder. Otherwise, can you imagine the smoke the head coach would take if somehow Jordan Love ended up having to play in this game? Can you imagine? Got to be Ridder as the backup.
Can't happen. Can't happen.
It can't. It just can't. Can't happen.
Nope.
I will say. I will say this. I am eager to see who they trot out there at corner, and I really want. I am excited to see. I think it's pretty clear that Trevon Diggs is going to play. So as I said during my first appearance on the program, that makes this interesting to me. I know it's not ideal, and I know Tausch doesn't like August football in January, but that makes it very interesting to me. So that'll be among the things that I'll be keeping my eye on.
Those are our Steinhoffels Sleepers of the Week selections. It's brought to us by Steinhoffels. Jason, you're going to stick around for one more segment to do headlines with us, right?
I have my headline ready. I used the extra time it took for you to get to the 11 o'clock hour to write my headline, so I am ready to go.
That's rich.
Kind of getting after you a little bit there.
He is.
Gel?
He sure is.
Again, who is the one constant would be my only question.
Hey, by the way.
Oh, boy.
I tuned in Tuesday, and Bulaga was on like his first part of his hit at 11:10.
Well, we all know Bulaga's part of the problem. We all get that, right?
He's part of the solution as well, just like Tausch is.
Nice win for his Hawkeyes in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Too bad he wasn't there to see it. Jason, since you're sticking around, you perfected the live read during your drive. Would you like to take us to commercial break on the phone as well?
Yeah, did you want me to tell you about Gruber Law offices? With David's smiling face right there, injured Gruber Law. I'm looking at it right now. Can I take video while I'm on the phone?
Nice.
I think I can. if you've been injured, make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Grubeloff's is one call, that's all. The other billboard after that was A&W, which does sell ice cream. Maybe they should join the Wilde and Tausch crew when it comes to partnerships. Next, we will do our headlines. I took a page out of the Tauscher Academy book, but of course I can't do it as short as they do. A limerick, but an extended limerick for me. Find out what Tausch and his brothers came up with next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only, and you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Owen Thomas Barnett.
Thank you for having me, Dennis.
But your name is?
Barney.
Barney, yeah, okay. We got to talk about this. You have the Owen line.
Yes,
so we give a shout out to your line mates in hockey.
Shout out Owen Porter, Owen Cook, played with me on the Edgewood hockey team since freshman year.
You look at your time here at Edgewood, what is going to stand out, I guess, the most other than maybe a championship?
The people I've met, the memories I've made, just like the whole community aspect at Edgewood is just like no other. I mean, it's really special, and I'm going to cherish everything, all the memories, all the people I've met here through my 4 years as they come to a close. So I'm just grateful to be a part of a community like Edgewood.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. You know that honeydew list that's been sitting on your counter since what, 2020? Yeah, we can handle that. From leaky faucets to light fixtures, our handyman team at Bruner Realty fixes it all. Fast, friendly, and done right the first time. We take care of it so you don't have to. Visit fixedbybruner.com. That's fixedbybruner.com. Because your to-do list deserves a happy ending.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project. Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
With Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde joining the show on his way to cover Packers Vikings in Minneapolis in the Week 18 regular season finale on Sunday afternoon. He joins us remotely as he continues the voyage with the family on his way to Minnesota. Packers and Vikings in the regular season finale. Continuing reactions to Matt LaFleur at the podium. Tausch, what's this tweet that you saw here this morning?
I don't know. I just sent it to you. In essence, we asked Rob this because when I was looking through the notes from, I don't know whoever sent the quotes over last night. The Matthew Golden quote was really interesting. That he was not going to be a playoff premier player or whatever the quote was. And I asked Rob if he was taken aback, and he said he was shocked that was the case. And Steno has had he's put himself out there sometimes where I don't think he's probably said things that the head ball coach wanted him to say. And I think this is another instance because now LaFleur basically just said, no, Matthew Golden's going to be someone that we're going to count on in the playoffs, which whether or not that's true, I don't know, but he doesn't want the Chicago Bears and Philadelphia Eagles to not think that, or mainly Matthew Golden to think that. So seems like a little backtracking by Matt LaFleur after what Steno said. I don't know, Jason, if you were there yesterday, but is that not how you read this as well?
I was there yesterday when he said this, and it did seem like another episode of Steno, who, again, from my perspective, I want him to be blunt. I want him to be honest. I obviously covered Steno as a player when you were mentoring him as a young pup out of Michigan, out of the potato corridor. And I really like him. I love seeing him at, when our daughter's sporting events intersect. But I do find myself wondering, because I don't believe Ed Policy is going to move on from Matt LaFleur, but I do find myself wondering if there will be some new blood on the coaching staff. And again, it was interesting that LaFleur. I took this as a public rebuke of what his offensive coordinator had said. Now it goes both ways because
absolutely it's a public rebuke.
So a couple of weeks ago, LaFleur called the mistakes on special teams catastrophic, and Bisaccia went out of his way to say that they weren't catastrophic. So again, I don't, that you always talk about making sure that the messaging is on point. I don't even know if the coaches can keep their messaging on point among each other, but we can criticize Steno for saying that, because my first thought was, well, that's not what Matthew Golden wants to hear.
No.
But the bottom line is he has not been a option for them. He hasn't.
No.
And it's been injuries. It's been opportunities. So, I mean, you can say Steno shouldn't have said it, but it doesn't make him wrong. Like, who are you taking off the field to play Matthew Golden more? Watson? Reed?
Nope.
Dobbs?
Nope.
Right? So those three should get the lion's share of the wide receiver stats. If you're not one of those three, are you a premier weapon in the playoffs? No, you are not. So he's got truth as a defense.
I hadn't thought about this until you just said that, Jason. Is it possible that all three of the coordinators are gone next year?
Look, I understand fans don't like Bisaccia. I am telling you, he is entrenched in the culture there. He would be the one I would be most surprised to see leave, or be nudged out, or hint, hint, wink, wink, retired. I don't get the sense he's going anywhere.
He ain't retired.
Obviously, I wouldn't think so. I mean, he's 66, I think. Look, obviously, we all know Hafley is going to be a candidate and will get interviews. Whether or not he gets a head coaching job, I'm not sure. Obviously, selfishly, I'd love to see him stick around. But, Steno had some interview opportunities during the offseason. Last year, he interviewed for a head coaching job. He interviewed for a couple of different play-calling offensive coordinator jobs. As much as he's a Wisconsin guy through and through, even though he chose the wrong university, I would say that I would not be surprised if they decide to go a different direction there. I would just, and I'm not here to tell Matt LaFleur what to do, but I think they could use some new ideas and somebody, who can challenge LaFleur and bring him some new stuff. I don't know the dynamic there. I don't think there's any like deep-seated issues there. But like, if you make Nathaniel Hackett the coordinator again, if you make Luke Getsy the coordinator, I don't know if that's a big change. I'd be curious if that ends up being the path. If Steno gets a job somewhere else where he gets to call plays, or if they just mutually decided to part ways, I wonder which way Matt LaFleur would go, because recycling guys that have been in the system for a long time, I'm not sure if that would be the right decision or not.
John Fossil. I want John Fossil as our special teams coordinator next year. Guy's a stud.
Let's get to our headlines.
We've buried the lead.
But it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, I've read the headlines.
It's time to predict this week's headlines.
Time for our headlines, predicting the outcome of our Week 18 showdown between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Jason, since you are joining us remotely en route to the game, would you like to have the honors of going first in today's headlines?
Only if the cell signal on 29 holds out here. All right, I'll be quick. It's time to play Name That Tune, because all you need is love to stay healthy as the playoffs loom. Opportunity knocks for lots of unknowns as the Packers focus on that team their old QB owns. A 4-game losing skid is less than ideal, but it's more important about how Jacobs and Watson feel. So this one won't matter, win, lose, or tie, as long as the Pack keeps its title hopes alive. Vikings 23, Packers 6, which was the score of the first meeting going the other direction.
Wow. Pretty good. Had a lot of time in the car to come up with that one, I guess, already so far this morning. So, well done, Jason. That was good. Tausch?
Hey, thanks.
How does yours compare?
Shorter, a little more succinct, but that shouldn't surprise anybody. The Ravens' loss left Packer fans with blank stares, and now they must play a game where no one cares. They made Malik wealthy. Now, get everyone healthy. The playoffs are next. Bring on the Bears.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well done. All by yourself you came up with that one too, right?
I didn't do any of it. Nope, I just read it.
And a Merry Christmas to all, indeed. Yes! Mine does not rhyme. Minnesota what? Packers take the field, either win, lose, or tie Vikings in regular season finale. That's where we're at. Doesn't matter. Minnesota what?
Gaboona Bar.
Yeah.
You put in less effort than the Packers are going to.
I actually thought for more than a minute about what I wanted to say there, and that's what I came up with. I
should have thought longer.
Thank you. I thought you guys would appreciate the Packers take the field, either win, lose, or tie Vikings in a headline, but apparently not. So you win, I lose. Those are our headlines.
Boom.
On Wilde and Tausch. Jason, any final thoughts before we lose your cell signal on Highway 29 as you head over to Minneapolis to cover Sunday's game?
This isn't the end for the Steinhoff Sleepers of the Week, right? We're still going to do it for the playoff game.
Correct, yes.
Steinhoff may have more than one.
Sleepers of the Week continue through the postseason. All standings count as we get into the postseason, correct.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we're on the same page there because I want to make sure Tausch has plenty of time to declare himself the winner and invalidate whatever AFC Richmond analytics says. So, no, guys, thanks for having me as a guest. I really enjoyed it. I think Paula and the girls really enjoyed it as well, hearing only my side of the conversation. Yep.
I'm sure they did. Yeah, I tried to tell Jesse, Paula doesn't want Jason doing shows when he takes days, but here we go. I'm sure Paula was excited about it.
She definitely enjoyed it. She can't wait to listen to the podcast on ESPN Wisconsin, our app, so she can hear the other side of our conversation.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be outstanding.
Save that for the ride home.
Luck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
that'd be great.
We can play it on Spotify, too, now that we're back.
Yeah, big time. Jason, have fun in Minneapolis. Looking forward to hearing your takeaways on Monday morning.
All right, boys. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde joining us en route to Minnesota to cover Packers-Vikings this weekend.
Jason's a fascinating fella, man. He is a fascinating fella.
Care to share anything more on that?
No, I'm all set.
All right. Well, in that case, we will then move ahead to drawing our trivia winner, and Riley Yauk gets his time to shine, leading us in a round of Whoa, Riley. That's all straight ahead as we continue on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here, encouraging you to stick around for the first Feelgood Friday of the new year, coming up to close out today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. Well, does your next paint project call for bold colors of your favorite team, like green and gold, or cardinal and white? For whatever your next project calls for, do what my family did and trust Home and Lindsay's pro painters to get the job done right. Choosing the pros is the way to go. All you have to do to get connected with them is stop into any of Home and Lindsay's Madison area locations, ask, and they'll help find the pro painters best suited for what you need. And remember, Home and Lindsay is the one paint you can trust to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint, and Wisconsin's best painters are the pro painters at Home and Lindsay Paints. Home and Lindsay, great paint, great people. And stick around for Feelgood Friday coming up to close out today's show, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau.
There's no second chances. There's no do-overs. We're definitely primed to take that next step. That's the focus and the goal.
This is your green and gold fix on 100.5 ESPN.
It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, pain to get to where you want to go.
This green and gold fix is driven by Metro Ford.
Despite Jordan Love passing concussion protocol, head coach Matt LaFleur announced before Thursday's practice that Clayton Tune will start in Sunday's regular season finale against the Vikings in Minnesota. Here's Jordan Love when asked how missing the last 2.5 games of the season will affect him going into the playoffs.
I would even argue sometimes that in the game and it feels like it slows down a little bit compared to practice. So, no, that's something where I played all season. It's not like I sat out all season and just coming back. I have a lot of bank reps playing out there.
Packers will kick off against the Vikings at noon on Sunday. I'm Will Summers.
Purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford at Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Donate at nationalparks.org/foundation.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Riley Yauk, our cousin sub of the day producing today, takes over in a moment. Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch. Thanks again to Jason Wilde joining on his way to Minnesota, covering Packers-Vikings on Sunday. A couple of different segments with Jason. If you missed any of it, catch the full show podcast available on the ESPN Wisconsin app. First up, I do have our Wilde and Tausch trivia drawing to do. First time in 2026. Weird couple of weeks here, Tausch, with the holidays being in the middle of the week. It feels like we've had like 4 weekends over the span of the last 2 weeks. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a goofy. I don't know. I was trying to figure out if this was good or bad. And I think on the whole it's good. But I kind of like our holidays being either the beginning of the week or the end of the week. It gives you a little more structure to what's going on. Because this just was basically 2 weeks of, just trying to figure out what was going on, which I still don't know.
2 weeks of figuring out what was going on. 1 week of figuring out who's going to win prize pack from Cousin Subs and Iron Jock. Everybody's got 3 entries this week. And congratulations to today's contestant, Chris in McGuanago. Chip number 4 belonged to him. Congratulations, Chris. He is the winner of our prize pack from Iron Jock and Cousin Subs. Best win McGuanago may get in 2026. Congratulations to Chris, our winner for Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Time now for Woe Riley.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, guys, so first I have a question that could lead into college football discussion if we have time. So I was driving back from Manhattan, Kansas yesterday. I was visiting one of my buddies. He's in the military. He's out at Fort Riley down in Manhattan.
The Little Apple.
Exactly. They go crazy on New Year's Eve in the Little Apple. But so I was driving back, 10-hour drive, and it was perfect because I had college football on all day that I could watch. And I put the emphasis on watch. I have a little suction cup thing that holds my phone where I can put maps up there. And I'm mostly on long stretches of highway. So I was like, you know what?
Who's driving?
Me. It's just me.
This is incredibly irresponsible
so
already.
I just put the football game up.
I don't think you should be admitting this in a public forum.
Riley. No, you should not admit this publicly. That's not legal.
In multiple states, crossing state lines.
I don't care what suction cups you're using. Now, if somebody was driving, like if you had Gel driving and he was Ubering you and you were in the back seat, that's perfect.
Okay.
The games were on ESPN Radio. Just pull up the ESPN Wisconsin app and stream the radio broadcast, and then you won't get in any trouble.
You know, in hindsight, that's definitely a better idea. I didn't know there were legal ramifications.
You can't watch TV while you're driving.
I wasn't. I was watching the road. I was listening to my favorite broadcasters, Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer, and then glancing every great once in a while.
Sure.
I will say this. I had a friend who lived in Tennessee who drove up to visit me in Sun Prairie a number of years ago.
Is this a limerick? No. This sounds like the start of a riddle. I knew a man from Tennessee.
As I started singing, I said, it does sound like that. He drove up to visit me a number of years ago. It was a 7 or 8 hour drive. And he turned on Netflix on his phone, but he had a comedy special on. And so he said it was the same as listening to like a podcast of a comedian. And so he turned it on Netflix, but then he put it like in his center console, didn't look at it. He was just listening to the stand-up, like hour or whatever it was. That I would say is a little bit more, like I thought that was the worst I had heard of until this. You just can't do this.
Riley, did you think that, and for the record, don't act like you weren't watching. You just said you had straightaway roads. I mean.
Not when there were no other cars around, when it felt safe to take a look, I would take a look and glance.
Okay.
Whoa, Nelly! Now, in the last 2 minutes, actual college football, one of the big games yesterday, the Rose Bowl, Indiana and Alabama. Indiana just shellacking Bama. Is this not the greatest turnaround story in sports with Curt Cignetti, what he's done with the Hoosiers from one of the worst programs in college football history to now it looks like they're going to be a dynastic empire? Like, is this not the greatest turnaround in sports?
Let's slow our roll with this dynastic empire, okay? Let's slow that down a little bit. It's a hell of a turnaround. No doubt about it. Cignetti deserves a ton of credit. Indiana's been fantastic. I think it gives hope to all of us Badger fans that this thing can flip quick. Dynastic seems strong. They haven't even won one yet. Let's see it beat Oregon and then Ole Miss, and then if they do that, then we can maybe start talking. But this thing, as we've seen now that the SEC doesn't have all of the quote-unquote monetary advantages that they used to, things change a little bit. It's not as easy when you just bulldog people because you're doing things maybe that aren't supposed to be being done. I think there's plenty of programs that should look at what Indiana's doing and say, why can't we do that?
I agree with Tausch. Indiana has not won it yet, so we got to make sure that they actually get the job done here. I will say this. The potential collision course for the championship that Tausch just said, Indiana and the incredible turnaround led by the former Badgers offensive line coach, by the way, Bostad, who's now at Indiana, and Ole Miss without their coach who left for another job with a better chance to win a title, now being one of the final 4 teams left. If they play each other in the national championship game, it might be one of my favorite championship games we will ever see. Those two storylines would be incredible. So that being said, it's probably going to be Oregon and Miami in the championship game. But that would be awesome to see Indiana and Ole Miss play each other because those two programs are the two biggest stories in college football this year. And so looking at those two, if they are able to go toe-to-toe for the championship, it would be a fitting ending to this college football season.
Yeah, and I think it's either one team gets their first ever national championship or Miami wins their first in 2 decades.
In a long time, yeah.
Finally some parity in college football.
Miami ain't winning nothing. Miami ain't winning
I didn't think Miami would beat Ohio State, but here they are. They did it.
Yeah.
They got to where they
got
are.
A shot.
They do have a shot.
That's it for Whoa Riley. Feelgood Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints, is coming up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Start the new year saving money and helping save the planet by making an energy switch to Everlight Solar. Mark Tauscher here, and whether you want some extra spending cash to buy the new jersey of a star player in town, tickets to a big game coming up, or anything else you may be thinking, you can find some extra cash in your pocket when you start saving money with the switch to Everlight Solar. Our family was looking to make the switch to solar for quite some time, but we weren't quite sure where to even start. That's when we met the team over at Everlight Solar. From the very first conversation, they educated us on the benefits of solar while also helping keep the process simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more. Schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Meet Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every U. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Owen Thomas Barnett.
Thank you for having me, Dennis.
But your name is?
Barney.
Barney, yeah, okay. We got to talk about this. You have the Owen line.
Yes,
so
we
give a
do.
shout out to your line mates in hockey.
Shout out Owen Porter, Owen Cook, played with me on the Edgewood hockey team since freshman year.
You look at your time here at Edgewood. What is going to stand out, I guess, the most other than maybe a championship?
The people I've met, the memories I've made, just like the whole community aspect at Edgewood is just like no other. I mean, it's really special, and I'm going to cherish everything, all the memories, all the people I've met here through my 4 years as they come to a close. So I'm just grateful to be a part of a community like Edgewood.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited, your local window installation pros.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life. Hey, my name is Stacy Bruner. I was Bucky Badger from 2010 to 2014. My most memorable sports moment was running out the flag at the 2013 Rose Bowl versus Stanford. Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Thursday, January 29th for Andy North Trivia Night presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and along with the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6. Visit AndyNorthAndFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feelgood Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay.
Time to finish off the week and send us into the weekend, which feels like another holiday weekend, but of course it's not necessarily another holiday weekend. It's Feel Good Friday, and it's painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. And Tausch, you've been telling us all throughout November and December about what you and Sarah have had going on with the AmFam Children's Hospital, and that has now come to a close for our Feel Good Friday. What are some of our final numbers that you have seen from your big initiative with the AmFam Children's Hospital?
Well, first off, I want to thank everybody, our fans, and everybody that has jumped in here, because last year I think we had 70 or 80 gifts. This year we got all the way up to 132. There's a few more outside of that, but Again, we went right up until the final tick on the 31st, but we ended up reaching our goal of $50,000. AmFam does the match, so we got to $100,000 again. I think this is our 4th year that we've been able to do this for the Children's Hospital, and just could not thank our fans and could not thank everybody that jumped in and helped us with this virtual toy drive. It's something we love doing, and it's always great when you have success, and our campaign was successful again. So thank you to American Family Insurance, and thank you to all of our fans, listeners, and everybody that chipped in and helped make this a great campaign.
That is awesome to hear. So thankful that you were able to achieve that goal, and hopefully it'll be even more in 2026. Congratulations to you and Sarah, and of course everyone involved with the AmFam Children's Hospital for a great cause. That'll do it for this week. The Channel3000.com Bowl, Sunday afternoon in Minneapolis between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Big game, Tausch. Enjoy it on Sunday.
Yeah, I can't wait. Bishop's Charity / Tito's / Channel 3, whatever we're calling it. Can't wait to watch Johnny Tune go try to get a W up in Minnesota.
Our show will be back at full strength on Monday. Jason will be back in his normal location in Green Bay. We will recap it all coming up on Monday. Thanks so much for joining us today. As Jason always says, have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon.